Hello. All right. I just started to cough instantly as soon as I got here. Hi. All right, we're back. We're gonna finish BO4A. If it's done in 3 hours, hopefully it won't take more than that. Only because I do need to sleep at some point today, but I got a lot of sleep this morning, so hey, maybe I'll be all right. Maybe we can manage it. But we're on the last chapter of the finale. To the best of my ability, we're on the right track. So hopefully we're doing it. I have all the confidence in the world that we're gonna get there. And then to top it off, there's a additional after story and like a second story that we have to play. So hopefully I can finish it today. And that way we can put up the poll in the Discord for what we're gonna play next. And then I can also start working on all the fun stuff that we're gonna be doing for the Choose Wisely festival that's coming up in December. So I have those fun things coming up. I also have reviews I need to work on. I've talked about them enough that I don't want to mention them again because I feel bad, but there's some other things I need to work on. So yeah, we need to finish PO4A. It's been a while. I don't know if I just hit the wrong button. Oh wait, I never actually closed it. That's right. I actually put it on sleep and we never actually left. I saved, but I didn't like close the game out. All right. He pointed his gun at the directory.
俺たちはマフィアだ。
I am. We are the mafia.
お前に言われなくても知っている。
Said it.
俺たちを敬う者がいるのなら同じ数だけ。
Everything you've said we know for as many people respect us.
俺たちを厭い、憎み、疎む者がいるのだと。それはこれまでも、
There's an
これから
equal
も変わらな
number
い。
of those who hate us that has always been and will not change. The directory said nothing but smiled
俺たちが愛
ironically.
される日は来ない。だが、
Like, how ironic. I just realized I forgot to actually put the game had started. LOL. Hang on. Because I already had the chapter listed, named already. I was like, yeah, we're there. Alright, we will never be truly welcomed by the masses.
俺たちは罪を背負ってでも生きる。それがマフィアの生き様だ。
But we will live regardless of our sins. That is the way of honorable men.
お前は俺たちの領域を犯した。だからマフィアはお前を許さない。
You crossed into our territory and now you need to pay.
お前の身柄を国に委ねることはしない。この地を守るファルツォーネの長として、俺がお前を粛清する。
Will have no say in your fate. I will determine that as head of the Falzone family protecting this
そ
land.
れがマフィアに歯向かったお前の末路だ。
Accept your fate for going against the mafia. Dante slowly pulled the trigger, then suddenly, with a roar, the casino began to shake violently. What? Orlok quickly covered me from the debris falling from the ceiling. Dante calmly fired his gun at the directory amidst the rumbling. He laughed like a madman. The bullet hit the directory. It seemed it was simply lodged into his flesh. He was still standing, bleeding.
遠さの中で笑うがいい。君たちは滅びる。必ず、必ずだ。
Breathe, my guy. Enjoy that hatred while you can. You will all perish. It will come. It must. In response to his mad laughter, a large section of the ceiling came falling down. The ceiling collapsed around him, hiding him amidst the debris and dust. Only his laughter could be heard. Dante kept his gun raised and slowly approached the fallen rubble.
いけない。王と戻れなくなる。
Don't follow. You will not be able to return. Ooh, I saw that. Dante hesitantly put his gun away.
崩れるぞ。走れ。
It's coming down. Run. Gil called out to everyone as he pulled me by the shoulders. As Orlok predicted, the ceiling completely collapsed behind us. Finally, the laughter was heard no more. Oh god.
無事。
Are you okay?
なんとかね。
Somehow. We took a moment to catch our breaths as the sound of the explosions continued.
この分だと他にも仕掛けられているな。次期カジノ全体が崩れ落ちるぞ。
He must have planted more explosives. The whole casino would collapse at
俺た
this
ちご
rate.
と心中するのが狙いか。欲張りな男だ。
Is he trying to take us with him? Selfish.
だったら逃げおせてやるだけさ。
Guess he doesn't expect us to
こん
escape.
なところでまとめて殺されてあげるほど僕たちの命は安くないからね。
Our lives aren't so cheap that we would share the rest of the likes with the likes of him.
賛成。
Agreed.
逃げる。
Let's go. I lost my balance a bit. Orlok quickly caught me in his
Lily.
arms.
口にハンカチを当てるといい。喉が焼けると痛いから。
Lily, cover your mouth with this. You don't want to burn your throat. The casino began to rock forcefully.
走れ。
Run. Everyone sprinted towards the exit.
待て。
Wait. Yang calmly stopped us as we ran away from the fire
俺
behind
なら
us.
その道は選ばん。どうしてもと言うなら止めんがな。
I wouldn't go that way. Not that I'd stop any of you. Huh? Nicola mumbled in agreement as he held his side in pain.
火の手が薄いってことはまだ燃えるものがあるってことか。
With the open space in front of us, there's room for a stronger fire to come through.
空気の通りもいい。あの通路に入ってから再び爆発があれば
The airflow here is good, meaning that if another explosion occurs in the
完全
corridor,
に火の海の中に取り残される。あとは焼け死ぬのを待つばかりだ。
we'll be bathed in a sea of fire and roast until we're all well done.
理屈はいい。どっちに行けばいいんだ結局。
Just cut to the chase. Which way do we go?
こっちだ。
This way.
よし。
Got it. Ah, a third explosion. Flames burst into in the direction we were about to run. Gil looked back at the flames and whistled in awe.
こっちに来て正解だったな。ヤンの言うこともたまには聞くもんだ。
Good call. Guess Yang's worth something after all.
大丈夫リリー。
Are you alright, Lily? Yeah.
こんなところでカポたちがまとめて焼け死ぬとか笑い話にもならないよ。
We'd be a laughing stock if they found all the mafia bosses burnt to death
ブルロー
together.
ネマフィアの名誉のためにも絶対に生き延びてもらわないと。
For the sake of mafia's pride, all of us need to survive.
違いね。
You said it.
お前たちが死ぬのは勝手だ。俺は死なんが。
I won't die, though I can't speak for all
余
of
計な
you.
おしゃべりをしていると煙に喉を焼かれるぞ。
Just be quiet already, you're gonna burn your throat. The situation can't be any worse, but they were conversing like usual. It was apparent that they all had faced many deadly situations like this before. Seeing them acting normal, I could somehow maintain my calm amidst the chaos. My heart was beating with a frenzy, but I wasn't scared of the searing heat or the roar of the explosions. But I blacked out anyways. People were gathering. They watched as the casino was consumed in flames. It appeared that most of the casino patrons were able to escape. After our meeting with the directory, each family's men helped to get everyone out safely.
これが終幕。
This must be the end. Dante's words resounded in my mind as I looked at the flames lighting the night sky. We received word that the counterfeiting plates had been secured soon after the fire. The casino was used to launder the counterfeit bills, but now all had been lost. As the mastermind was engulfed in the fire, the whole incident came to an end. Revenge conspired by a poor soul who lost his sister. It was the truth behind the counterfeiting scheme that affected countless people. The long night had finally ended. The morning sun rose from the eastern sky. I'm sorry, what? No. The The directory's body couldn't be found among the burning remains as at the casino, but his crimes were made public to the people. The chaos that had racked Burlone slowly dissipated. We found out later that Gil's trials were rigged by the Directory. The trial was held again, and this time, Gil was able to defend himself and clear his name. The rebellion against the Mafia subsided following the verdict of Gil's innocence. The Mafia gradually returned to being both feared and respected by the people. The church recognized that the Falzone's efforts, acknowledging their rightful guardianship of this land. Sebastiano Gallier had used a government-run facility to distribute counterfeit bills that he had produced illegally. The church protested the government's involvement, and the matter was settled in private. As a result, the land was able to remain free from the government as it was before. Despite that, the Kingdom of Italy was already moving to get rid of the Mafia. Burlone's extraterritorial rights. No one knew how long they would actually stay in effect. I could only hope the town would remain as it should be for as long as possible. And so I returned to my normal life, thinking back on all that had happened. The church was busy preparing for Christmas.
リリー、これはどこに飾ればいいかしら。
Lily, where should I put this? Ooh, I think it should be on the church's
エレ
door.
ナお姉ちゃん、何持ってるの？
Sis, what's that? It's a wreath, you
綺麗
silly.
な飾
It looks so
り。
pretty.
じゃあみんなも手伝って。今から聖堂の入り口を飾り付けるから。
Why don't y'all help out? We're gonna decorate the entrance.
やるやる。
Yeah, I want to help. Elena hurried out to the church with the kids in tow. I was getting the sweets bagged for the people who would be coming for mass.
リリー、そちらの様子はどうですか？
Lily, how are things going? I'm almost done. I'll make sure they're ready on time.
私も手伝いましょう。
Let me help you. Sister Sophia stood next to me to help bag the sweets.
例年になく騒がしいクリスマスになってしまいましたね。
This must be the busiest Christmas I've ever
ま
seen.
さかあの方がブルローネまで慰問にいらしてくださるなんて。
I never thought a bishop would ever visit Burlone for consolation. Hehehe. I smiled, seeing Sister Sophia remark as if she couldn't believe what was happening.
お、お疲れさん。
Hey there. Marco, Roberto, thank you for coming. Burlone's police force was being stationed around the church for his visit. Roberto returned a nod while saying nothing. I didn't expect that. Most of the time, Roberto wouldn't acknowledge me, even when I spoke
俺
to
たち
him.
は聖堂の外で警備だってのがちょいと残念だがな。
Too bad we're only guarding outside the church
せっかくだ
grounds.
から俺もロズベルグ教のありがたい説教を聞きたかったんだが。
Wouldn't have minded hearing Bishop Roseberg's speech. Marco stared at the church for a moment with a bitter
What?
smile.
何かあったら声かけてくれ。
Well, call us if you got anything. Yes, thank you so much. I waved my hand as I watched them returning to their positions. A short while later, a car stopped in front. Buongiorno! Oh, I mean, Buon Natale. Merry Christmas, Buon Natale. Am I saying it right? I greeted the visitors with a smile.
ボンナターレ、リリ
Buon Natale, Lily.
ー。はい、ボンナターレ。
Buon Natale to you too. I'm so happy you're here. The mass being held today was very special. Everyone knows that the Mafia attends the mass on this day. Nicola, are you feeling better?
おかげさまでかなりいいよ。もう普段と同じくらい働かされている。
Not bad, I suppose. I've been worked the same as before, at least. I'm being worked the same as before.
あ、嘘ですよ。俺たちは止めてるのに勝手に働こうとするんです。
He's
ニコラさん。
lying. Nicola keeps working even though I keep telling him to stop. Dante looked out at the people waiting to enter the
ここで
church.
立ち話をすると後ろの邪魔になるな。またミサの後で話そう。
We're only getting in everyone's way. We'll talk after Mass. Yes, I'll see you later. A few moments passed after the Falzone family entered the church.
よ、リリー。ボンナターレ。
Hey there, Lily. Buon Natale. Buon Natale, Gil, Oliver. I greeted the new guest with a
今日は
smile.
冷えるな。
雪が降りそうだ。
It's quite cold today. It might even snow. Yes, it's really cold. I don't want you to catch a cold, Oliver. You should go inside. It's warmer.
痛み入る。
I'll do that. I heard that Oliver pulled a lot of strings to get Gil properly tried in court. Maybe that was why he looked a bit thinner than before. Gil. Oliver stepped inside, but Gil stood there and didn't move. I looked up at him curiously.
いえ、こうしてあんたの顔を見るのも久しぶりだと思ってな。
Well, I was thinking it's been a while since I've seen you like this. I think you're right. I'm just a normal girl again. I hadn't seen or spoken with them for a while now.
またあんたとゆっくり話がしたい。よかったら時間作ってくれ。
You have some time later? I'd like to talk with you a bit. Sure, I've been wanting to talk to you too. Gil smiled and headed inside.
メリークリスマス
Merry Christmas!
それ英語だよ、ラン。ここはイタリア。
That's English, Lon. This is Italy.
知ってるよ。それくらい失礼ね。
I know that much. So rude. Lan, Faye, you came.
神の家は誰でも迎え入れると聞いた。俺たちが入っても構わんだろ。
This is such a weird fanfic. I thought God's house was open to everyone. I'm assuming that includes us as well. Yang! I hadn't expected to see Lan or Faye here, but Yang's present was even more
そ
shocking.
う驚くな。面白そうな機会だからな。足を運んでみただけだ。
Don't be so surprised. I came here because I was just curious what all the fuss is about. I wasn't sure if he meant it in a good or bad way.
いろいろ言ってるけど、それ、リリーに会いたかっただけなんじゃない
He's just saying that because he wants to see you, Lily. Oh, come now. That can't be. Wait a minute. Are you serious, Yang? Yang smiled as he usually did, and without answering, we walked inside the church. Oh, I'd pick him. I watched as the twins snickered playfully as they followed behind Yang. Mass was about to start, and finally the people from the church appeared.
ロズベルグ教をお連れしました。
Bishop Roseberg has arrived.
オルロックだミサに来たの
It's Orlok! You came to Mass, too?
どうしてロズベルグ様と一緒にいるの
Why are you with Bishop Roseberg?
こら、みんな静かに。
Everyone, mind your manners. Bishop Roseberg glanced at me, but other people's eyes were on us. He quietly walked past me.
ただいま。
I'm back. Orlok whispered into my ear, Welcome home, Orlok. Orlok was accompanying Bishop Roseberg from the church, but Orlok was still living in Berlin like before.
遠く峡谷からようこそ、ロズベルグ様。
We humbly welcome you,
どうぞ
Bishop
よろしくお
Roseberg.
願いいたします。
We are blessed with your presence today. Sister Sophia smiled gently, then led Bishop Rosenberg inside the church. Soon Mass began. Bishop Roseberg was giving his greetings to the people in attendance.
さまざまな苦難を乗り越えたブルローネの民よ。あなたたちの未来のため、
My dear brothers and
共に祈ろう。
sisters, let us pray for a bright and blessed future. His calm voice resounded through the church. I gave my prayers in silence. So many things beyond my imagination happened this year. The town falling into chaos, the risk of losing those important to me. But now, the people have come together here to offer their prayers. Thank God.
では、私は他にも行くべき地がある。
I will need to
一
head
足
out
先
now.
に失礼させていただ
If you'll
こう。
all excuse me. After Mass was over, Bishop Roseberg said goodbye to the members of the congregant and turned to leave.
ゲイカ、
Congregation,
俺も一緒
sorry.
に。
Your Excellency,
い
I'll
や
go.
オルロックは残るといい。
No, you stay here, Orlok. Bishop Roseberg looked at Orlok with kind and
今
gentle
日は
eyes.
せっかくのクリスマスだからな。夜は彼らとここで過ごすといいだろ
Today is Christmas. You should spend time with those here. Bishop Roseberg bowed, then continued out with the others from the church. Orlok saw them off. He looked a bit troubled at first, but soon broke into a happy smile. Now that things were settled, it was time we enjoyed our Christmas dinner. Sister Sophia invited the Berlin Mafia as they helped bring peace back to the town. We had a whole table filled with a variety of dishes enjoyed during the holiday season.
豪華な食卓だな。ビスコンティだってこんな料理は食えねえぞ。
This is pretty lavish. I didn't think I'd ever have such a fine meal even at our
す
place.
ごいでしょ。シスターとお姉ちゃんたちとみんなで頑張ったのよ。
It's amazing, and all the sisters worked so hard. There were homemade cannelloni fresh from the oven. They were filled with ricotta and spinach, perfect for winter. We had pasta al forne, made with white sauce and baked cheese. We even made our local specialty, deep fried and salted cod, as known as fratelli di bacala.
皆さん、この良き日を無事に迎えられたこと、神の祝福に感謝しましょう。
Let us offer our thanks to God for this wonderful day of
どうぞ
blessing.
グラスをお取りになってください。
If you could all raise your glasses.
アラサルーテ。ブリンディジ。
Alla salud, brindisi. Brindisi. We each took a sip of our wine and juice and began enjoying our Christmas dinner. For the dulce, we prepared panettone with raisins and orange peel. We even had powdered pandora as well. The Christmas tree is in the garden. The children did their best to decorate it, so why don't we all go and have a look? I made my suggestion seeing the dessert was just about finished. With the dinner coming to an end, we all headed to the garden. We looked up at the tree adorned with apples and bells. It's beautiful. It's snowing. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ah, it's snowy. Snow began to fall upon us from the gray clouds floating in the night sky. Oh, cute. Dang.
雪通りで冷え込むわけだ。
Snow, no wonder it's so cold.
聖なる夜に雪だなんて、神様の祝福もバカにできない気分になるね。
A thing like that, to have God's blessing of snow on a holy night.
祝福？寒いだけだろう。
Blessing? I'm freezing.
わかってねえな、ヤンは。
Way to kill the mood yang.
見ろよ。お前のとこの双子は早速庭を駆け回ってるじゃね
Look
え
at
か。
your twins. They're having the time of their
お
lives.
前もあれくらい情緒を育てろ。ヤン。
Learn to enjoy yourself just like they do young.
まずは手本を見せてもらいたい。駆け回ってきてはどうだ、ファルツオーネ。
Then I'll need to see how it's done. Why don't you run around with them, Valzone? A new year is about to come. May everyone be blessed in the coming year. May all of us be happy. I prayed from the bottom of my heart. Lafin. This makes no sense. I am so confused. I am so we're that close to ending, by the way. Dang. All right. Okay. I feel cheated. I'm confused. Presagio. Oh wait. No. This is fine. This is after the happy ending, so we're fine. It was 1926. Berlin was in the midst of winter, waiting for spring to arrive once more. Really, that's wonderful. We entered the church, and inside were Lily and Orlok. Orlok was helping the church while honoring his duty as a disciple to guard
だか
her.
らリリーとの距離も近いというか、互いに心を許しているというか。
I suppose that's why he's so close to Lily, with her placing unwavering trust in him. They were laughing merrily together, but what in the world
気
were
にな
they?
る？
Are you curious?
ならない。
Not at all. Lily turned our way, hearing our voices and footsteps. Oh, buonasera! She gave us a bright smile. Orlok bowed his head without a word. He didn't seem surprised at our presence. I assumed he noticed right away. Isn't it cold outside?
このところ冷え込むな。
Yes, it's been cold recently. Stopping the car in front of the church would be too obvious. We walked here after getting out of the car a couple blocks away. Is there a problem,
今更だ
Dante?
が、少し不思議な気分になった
It just struck me how
ま
strange
さ
this
かお前
is.
とこうしてたわいない話をするようになるとは
I
思わなかっ
never
たから
expected to see the day that I would be speaking to you like this.
彼女は
I
俺に
know.
とって特別な存在だ。だからこそ距離を取ってきた。
She's someone special to me. That's why I've placed distance
この
between
関
us.
係はずっと変わらないだろうと思ってい
I
たの
thought this distance would never change,
会
but
合に
now
限らず、教会に来ることがあれば何でもない立ち話
we
をする。
converse quite casually, even outside of our usual meetings here. I never dreamt it would ever happen.
ところでさっきは何の話をしていたの？楽しそうに笑っていたみたいだけど。
So, what were you two talking about? You sounded like you were having fun. Oh, about that. Before Lily said anything, she quickly glanced at Orlok for confirmation. Orlok nodded and spoke in her
俺は
place.
昨日まで峡谷に戻ってたからその話をしてた。
I was just talking about my trip back to the
頻
church.
繁に行き来しているよね。以前はほとんどこの町にいたみたいなのに。
You've been going back and forth quite often. I thought you were supposed to be
状
staying
況が
here.
変わったから町の状態もすごく安定してるし、
Things have changed. The town is much more stable
それ
now.
に俺
And
が留守の間ファルツォーネがリリーのこと気にかけてくれてる。
and I know that the Falzone family would take good care of Lily while I'm
だか
gone.
ら俺が峡谷に行っても大丈夫。
So I can go back to the
Arigato.
church more often
ニ
now.
コラ、
Now, thanks to
Dante.
Nicola. Dante.
ファルツォーネとして当然のことをしているだけだ。
We're only doing what's needed as the Falzone family.
そこは素直にどういたしましてでいいと思うけど。
You could simply just say you're welcome, you know?
それでオルロック。
And Orlok, Nicola picked up the
Oh.
conversation.
実はその峡谷との行き来が増えてるこ
Well,
と
with how often I've been
俺の
returning,
負担になってないかって芸家が気にしてくれて
His Excellency was worried about whether it was a burden
そ
to
れが
me.
嬉しいって話してた。
So I was just sharing how happy I was to hear that.
芸か。
His
ロズベル
Excellency,
グ教か。
Bishop Rosenberg. I had noticed how deeply loyal Orlok was to Bishop Rosenberg. Nicola,
ん
I heard you've been in and out of town recently
ああ、ちょっと
too.
ね。アメリカに行っていたんだ。
Oh, it's nothing. I've just been going to America recently. America? You're not putting yourself in danger, are
ま
you?
た僕が勝手に暴走でもしたと思っている？違うよ。今回はちゃんとダンテの指示。
Oh, you think I've been going on my own accord? No, I've been going there under Dante's orders. I see.
僕そんなに信用ない？
You don't trust me, do you? Well, you do have a knack for doing things on your own, Nicola.
全くだ。
Indeed.
俺もそう思う。
I think so too. Nicola chuckled, but didn't refute it because it was true. The door to the church opened and another person entered.
もうほとんど集まってるな。
Hey, looks like the gang's all here. Welcome,
ボ
Gil.
ナセーラ、リリー。今日も綺麗だ。
Buonasera, Lily. Beautiful as usual. Oh, Gil, you're such a playboy.
本気で言ってるんだがな。
I'm
俺は。
serious, you know. Gilbert shrugged and
彼
laughed.
女は一時期、ビスコンティに身を寄せていたこともある。
She was under the Visconti's care for a
ギ
short
ルバー
while.
トとは良き友人というか、気心が知れた間柄なんだろうが。
I suppose she got along quite well with Gilbert and became friends. I felt that Gilbert saw Lily as more than a friend. Odd, perhaps I was quite sure of it.
まだ来てないのはヤンだけか。
So Young's the only one left.
ま、いつも通りだね。
Par for the course.
なんだ俺の
What?
噂話か
You're talking about me.
もう来たの？
Huh? You're already here.
ヤンにしては早いな。時間通りだわ。
Unbelievable, you're here on time.
どうした何があった緊急事態か
What is it? What happened? Is there an
ま
emergency?
ったくもって失礼な連中だ。俺が心を入れ替えたとは思わんのか。
What a bunch of rude people. Isn't it possible to you all that I've changed? Yang, I'm sorry to say this, but that's very hard to believe. Lily spoke in a serious tone. Yang simply squinted without a change in expression, began to explain why he arrived so
近
early.
頃退屈でな。ラオ州の拠点にいるより、ここに来る方が良い暇つぶしになる。
It's just been boring recently. I find it easier to come here to kill time. Lily shook a bit. seeing him stare at her as if he was expecting something. Yang was a mysterious person. It seems as though even though she was cautious of him after what they had been
リリー
through,
これから会合を始める。しばらく席を外してくれるか。
Lily, we'll be starting the meeting. Could you please excuse us? Okay.
俺はその女と話している最中だが
I'm still talking to her. Everyone ignored Yang's comments. Lily looked a bit concerned but hurried out of the church as requested.
つまらん
How boring. Yang shrugged, then stared at everyone remaining as if appraising them.
それで今日はファルツオーネからの呼び出しという話だが
So I heard the meeting was called by the Feltzone.
わざわざこの俺に足を運ばせた以上愉快な話題を提供してくれるのだろうな
I'm expecting to be entertained after coming all the way out here. Nicola looked at me quietly. I nodded to signal him to speak.
君たちも把握していると思うけど、僕はしばらくこの町を留守にしていた。
I know you're all aware, but I've been out of town
アメリカ
recently.
に行ってたんだろ
You're in America, right?
そう、シカゴで取引があってね。
Yes, I had to deal to work in
その
Chicago.
時気になる情報をつかんだから、念のために共有しておこうと思って。
I got an interesting piece of information, so I wanted to share it with all
向
of
こう
you.
の市場の話か
Is it about the market prospect there?
そういうことになるかな。
I
一応。
suppose you could call it that.
と
I'm sorry, but
俺アメリカのことはよく知らないから聞いてもわからないかも。
I don't know much about America, so I likely will understand what you're going to
使徒の
say.
務めに必要なら調べるけど今までは特に関係なかったから。
I've researched all work pertaining to a disciple, but America wasn't on my list.
そうか。
I see.
案ずるなオルロック俺が教えてやる
Don't worry, I'll let you know the details.
ヤンが
You will? Orlok looked at him suspiciously. I felt the same. Nicola was frowning next to
お前
me.
にしちゃ妙に親切だなヤン
That's mighty kind of you, Young.
言っとくがデタラメを吹き込むようならすぐ止めるぞ
You know I'll stop you the moment you spout off some random crap.
随分と疑われたものだな深い意味はない
I see now how trusted I am. I have no ulterior motive.
俺もたまには知識をひけらかして使徒殿に恩を売りたいそれだけ
All I
だ
want to do is share what I know so I can ask a favor of our dear disciple.
驚くほど信用できないな。
Nothing he says sounds trustworthy.
オルロック禁酒法を知っているか
Orlok, do you know about the prohibition?
それは少し
I heard about it a while
昔
back.
教わったから100年くらい前教国とは異なる宗派の信徒がアメリカで禁酒運動を始めた。
Some religious specter outside of the church spoke for prohibition of alcohol 100 years ago.
ああ聖書と手斧を手にした女が酒場に殴り込んだ話など実に革新的だ
It was much more innovative than a lady with a Bible and hatchet attacking taverns.
まとにかく政治的な背景もあって禁酒運動はゆっくり広まった
That aside, prohibition spread with the help of politicians running alongside its
そして
movements.
1920年の1月いわゆる禁酒法がついに施行された
Finally, in January of 1920, the Volstead Act was put into force.
だからアメリカではお酒を作るのも売るのもいけないんだっけ
Which is why America doesn't brew or sell alcohol.
そうだしかし困ったことに人間は己を堕落させる毒を欲する習性がある
Precisely. Unfortunately, humans have a tendency towards corrupting themselves with debauchery.
どうい
By
う
that, you
意
mean
味
かの国では今酒が飛ぶように売れている
alcohol is flying
禁
off
酒
the
法
shelves
のおか
there,
げでな
and all because of prohibition.
は
Orlok didn't say a word. Naturally, we all frowned at what Yang said. It was good that had Lily. It was good that I had Lily leave.
そういえばビスコンティは以前からアメリカに酒を卸していたな
Come to think of it, the Visconti family has been sending alcohol to
ファ
America.
ルツオーネも今回の取引とやらは密輸か密造 か。
I assume the
どちらに
Feltsone's
せよ
family
酒
deal
絡みだろう。
is related to alcohol as well.
今のシカゴといえば禁酒法に抗う連中の巣窟だからな。
After all, Chicago is now a watering hole for those against prohibition.
いや、わざわざ禁酒法の説明など買って出たのは、その話をするためか。
Young, you offered your knowledge only to get to this
俺た
subject.
ちの反応から取引の程度を探ろうという魂胆だろうが、その手には乗らない。
If I did not need to hear their voices to know who was talking, I would turn their sound down just to get through this very long-winded event. What the fuck is this? Unfortunately, you won't be getting anything out of me in regards to our
フ
deal.
ァルツォーネは俺の善意を疑うのか？そんな下心はつゆほどもなかったが。
So the Feltsone doubts my goodwill in sharing information. There was no malice behind my offer. He really couldn't be
まあ金
trusted.
が稼げそうな匂いがするところには首を突っ込むさ。俺はマフィアだからな。
Well, we are the mafia. We'll dabble in anything that'll make us
そろ
rich.
そろ本題に入りたいんだけど、いいかな、ヤン？
I'd like to get back to the subject. Are you done, Yang?
俺としてはもうしばし歓談に興じながら互いの親睦を深めたかったが。
I was hoping to strengthen our bond by including casual fare in our conversation, but
いいだろう。フランチェスカが持ってきた本題とやらにも興味がある。
I suppose that'll do for now. I am quite interested in what you have to say, Francesca.
期待には応えられると思うよ。
I think I can satisfy your interest. Nicola nonchalantly began speaking
今
again.
シカゴでの取引を荒らしている男がいる。
There's a person disrupting the market in
彼はスピーク
Chicago.
イージーを何軒も抱えているみたいなんだ
There's
け
a
ど、
number of speakeasies around the area. A tavern that sells alcoholic beverages. That is not a speakeasy is more than that. It's actually a secret location to help keep the feds out. So
出来の悪い密造酒を高値で買い取って、儲け度外視の安値で叩き売るらしい。
he's also buying low quality bootlegs at a high price and selling them for cheap.
おかげで相場がめちゃくちゃだ。
He's causing chaos in the market there.
随分と頭のおかしな男だな。
A madman, no doubt.
まあ、おかしいとしか思えないよね。
At the very least, he isn't normal.
俺もそいつの話は耳に入ってきてる。
I've heard about him too,
だ
but
が
I
わざわざ俺たちを集めて話すほどのことか？
he's enough. I doubt he's enough of a reason to gather us here together.
元手がどれだけあるのか知らねえが、商売としてはとっくに破綻してる。
I can't say how much he has in the bank, but his business model is a map to
放ってお
bankruptcy.
いても遠からず自滅するだろう。それとも他に何か掴んだか？
I'm sure he'll go down the sink soon, or is there more to him? Nicola hesitated a bit, which was rather rare. He then shared the information he
彼
knew.
はファントムと呼ばれている。
He's called the Phantom.
ファントム。亡霊？
Phantom as in a ghost? No, Phantom as in Phantom of the Opera. He wears a mask.
彼にはちょっとした特徴があってね。
It's quite unique.
時代遅れというか、舞台衣装みたいに豪奢でアンティークな服装を好んでいて、
He wears antique clothing reminiscent of a lavish stage attire from ages
その
ago.
上、人前に姿を見せるときは必ずおかしな仮面をつけ
He
ている
also
らしい。
always wears a strange mask when he appears in front of people. What?
なるほど。オペラ座の怪人か。
I see, the Phantom of the Opera.
流行り好きな連中らしい呼び名だ。
I see he's a man of culture.
まさか、
Wait, it can't be.
そんな。
男の特徴に俺たちは心当たりがある。
He
警
matches the
戒に越したことはな
description
いだろ
of a certain someone we all know.
僕としては直接接触して素性を確かめたかったんだけど、会えなかった。
I wanted to see the person himself, but I didn't have the chance
どうも
to.
彼は自分のスピークイージーにもめったに姿を見せないらしい。
It seems he rarely shows himself at any of his speakeasies too.
う。ファントムが本当にあの男だとすれば、ニコラが単独で追うのは危険すぎる。
If this Phantom is who we think it is, it's too dangerous to have Nicola go after him
だ
alone.
から当初の予定通り帰国させた。
Which leads to why I have come back
ブル
here.
ローネで近々、ニコラの手が必要な取引もあるし
The
な。
timing was perfect since Nicola had other matters to deal with in Berlin.
その男について探ってみる。
Let me investigate this man.
ゲイカなら何か調べられるかもしれない。 いろんなつながりを持ってる方だから。
His Excellency may know something with his vast connections.
その必要はないよ。
Oh, there's no need to do that. A voice suddenly resounded in the church hall. Nicola was taken aback, but he quickly drew his gun and covered
待って
me.
ニコラ、この人は
Wait, Nicola, this person
君が
is...
手引きしたのオルロック。
Did you bring him here, Orlok?
違う。来るなんて聞いてな
No,
かった。
I didn't know he was here. Nicola still had his gun raised.
で、殺していいのか？
So can we kill him?
だから待って。
I
ダ
said,
メ。
wait, don't do anything.
まったく請求だね。
Why the rush?
けれど、僕を殺すより話を聞いた方が楽しめると思うよ。
I'm sure you'll
君
be...
は
Is this Emilio? I'm sure you'll be quite entertained if you leave me alive to tell my story. Oh. I calmly looked at the young man.
お前は峡谷の人間か？
Are you from the church?
そうだよ。ダンテ・ファルツォーネ。
Indeed, Dante Falzone.
僕はエミリオ。峡谷からの使者だ。
My name's Emilio. I'm a
峡
messenger.
谷の使者。こんな子
Messenger,
供
you're
が
just a
か？
kid. Why did they choose to make it like this?
エミリオは鍵の乙女の伝承に詳しい。前も手を貸してもらった。
Emilio is versed in the lore of the Key Maiden. He helped me once before. Nicola lowered his
害
gun.
はないようだね。少なくとも今は。
You don't seem too harmful for now. Doubt, confusion, caution. Emilio smiled amidst the various emotions stirring through the
彼
church.
には深入りしない方がいい。
Don't get involved with him.
まあ、放っておいても、向こうから勝手に構ってくるかもしれないけれど。
Though, even if you don't, I'm sure he will get involved with you in one way or
エ
another.
ミリオ、お前がどこまで知ってるかわからねえが、
Emilio, I have no clue how much you know about him or
ファン
us.
トムとやらが俺たちの思う男なら、
If this phantom is who we think it
なん
is.
と言われても野放しにはできねえ。少なくとも、ビスコンティはそうだ。
We can't just let him be. At the very least, the Visconti won't let him go.
ギルバート・レッドフォード。確かに君はシカゴと因縁があるけれど、
Gilbert Redford, I know that you have your ties to
ブル
Chicago.
ローネマフィアに海の向こうのことばかり気にしている余裕はあるのかい？
But does the Burlone Mafia have the luxury to be worried about what is happening overseas?
なんだって？
What did you say?
ああ、怒らないでほしいな。僕はこれ
No,
でも
no, it's nothing to
君
be
たちの
angry
味方
about.
のつもりだから、
I'm here to help you.
地続きの国に足元を救われないよう忠告したいだけなんだ。
I am here to give fair warning to all of you so that you aren't uprooted from your homes, so to speak.
ドイツで不穏な動きが台頭したって。
There's a disturbing movement in Germany.
そう。本当に強国としては頭が痛い
Indeed.
よ。
And the church is quite
中華
concerned.
民国もリュウ・ファンフイは本気でラオ州への報復を考えているようだし、
In the Republic of China, it appears that the Liu Xianghu is planning to strike the Laoshu.
まあ、それ以上に君たちを悩ませるのはこの国の政府だろうけれど、
Of course, we also have the government here as the cause of many of your problems.
確かにな。
True.
王国政府によるマフィア弾圧は今年に入ってさらに激しさを増した。
The Kingdom of Italy has been cracking down on the mafia harder than ever
首
before.
席宰相および国務大臣様のおかげで。
All because of our dear Capo del Governo Primo Ministro Sargentino di Strato.
そうそう。
Precisely. Emilio still had a smile on his face despite the subject being
こ
very
と
grave.
が起きたのは、ああ、ちょうど去年のクリスマスかな。
It all began around Christmas last
ムッ
year.
ソリーニは自分のために新しい役職を作り、それに
Mussolini
就任して、
created his own position which he assigned to himself.
従来の首相職より大きな権力を手に入れ、一気に独裁を進めている。
He then took majority control with the power he bestowed upon himself.
特にシチリアへの影響は大きい。
Sicily took the heat immediately.
ああ、連中のほとんどは海を渡ってニューヨークだのシカゴだのに移った。
Yes, most of them bailed and went to New York or in
ただの
Chicago.
マフィア家業という意味でなら、この国を捨てた方がいいのかもね。
In the pure modus modus operandi of the mafia, it makes sense to leave this country.
そういう時代が来ていると僕以上に君たちが感じているのかな。
I can only assume that you all know that the times are telling that it's best to move operations
だとして
elsewhere.
も
Even so, I responded with conviction.
ファルツォーネはここで生きていかなければならない。
The Falzoni must live here in this land.
ブルローネをましてマフィアという生き方を捨てるわけにはいかない。
There's no way that we will leave Berlone nor abandon our position as the
ファル
mafia.
ツォーネ以外はラオシュとビスコンティは
What about the
何を
others?
望む？
What about the Laoshu and the Visconti?
俺はこの土地に愛着などないか
I have no connection to this land.
生異物とやらが争いを吸い寄せてくれるならまだしばらく楽しませてもらわねば。
If the relic that lies here will bring turmoil, I will stay for the entertainment value.
まずは腰の重いリュウ・ファンフイが遊びに来るまで待ってやらねばならんしな。
At the very least, I need to wait for the Liu Xiaoqiu to come and visit me.
俺はいずれシカゴに行く。
I'm gonna head for Chicago sooner or later. What is happening?
だが、組織にはまず地盤が必要だろう。そうそう無鉄砲には動けねえ。
The family needs a place to put down roots before we can make any moves.
今シカゴじゃ北と南で派手な抗争が続いてるしな。
Chicago's already enough of a conflict between the North
う
and the
まく
South.
潰し合ってくれたら、その後、美味しいとこをいただきに行くさ。
If they burn each other out, that's when we will step in and take over
な
the
るほど
place.
ね。君たちの
I see.
答えはよくわかったよ。
I understand each of your thoughts are very
だと
well.
すればカジノの炎上を許したのは痛手だったかもしれないね。
If what you all said is true, then burning the casino down was a bad move.
ギルバート・レッドフォードは無実だと公的に証明されはしたけれど
Gilbert Redford was cleared of his crimes with the public, but then again,
まあ、国としちゃ面白くねえよな。
this country doesn't like that, right?
完全にメンツを潰されているからね。事件の黒幕は国の役人だったわけだし。
Well, they were disgraced in finding out that the one of their owns was behind what
そ
happened.
れにブルローネの国営カジノは毎晩巨額を稼ぎ出して
To
た。
add, Berlone's casino was a significant source of revenue to this
政
country.
府の財源の一角を担うくらいの稼ぎだったはず。
Losing the casino was losing a substantial part of their
つまり
resources.
シチリアの掃除が終われば
So once Sicily is taken care of,
政府はその矛先を完全にブルローネへ向けると思って間
the
違いないだ
government
ろ
will turn their full attention to
そ
Berlone.
れで
So, despite Yang's smile, I could sense tension
お
from
前
him.
はわざわざこの田舎町まで無意なおしゃべりをしに来たのか？
Did you come all the way out to the countryside just to talk?
俺たちが言われなければわからんアホだとそう思ってくれて
Do
い
you
る
think we're
と
stupid and unaware of the things you've told us?
僕もそこまで暇じゃないよ。
I didn't come here just to say that. Emilio gave an innocent laugh.
誤解しないでほしい。
Don't misunderstand him. Orla quickly moved between Emilio and
峡
Yang.
谷はブルローネマフィアに協力する。敵対は望んでない。
There's no reason to fight. The church will assist the mafia
峡
here.
谷にも派閥があるから全員が味方だとは言えないけど。
Though the church does have its own factions, I can't say it would be their full
ヨ
support.
ゼフ、ロズベルグ教が君たちに協力的になってくれたの
Yosef,
は
Bishop
大きいよ。
Rosenberg, backing you all would be highly
彼
adventurous.
ことと次第によっては本当に次期教国の主になってしまうだろうし
After all, he may take the helm of the church depending on how things unfold. Orlok smiled
それ
proudly.
はそれはさすがロズベルグ芸家だな。
His Excellency must be doing well then. Yang gave a sinister
ロズベ
chuckle.
ルグ教をうまく取り込みたいと思っているのかもしれない。
Oh my god, why is this so boring? I wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking of getting on Bishop Rosenberg's good
彼は
side,
敬
but
虔な
Bishop
聖職者と
Rosenberg
して
is
名高い
pious,
人
so
だ。
I doubt money or
金
violence
や
will
暴
sway
力で
him.
回収する。
今
I came here today. The tone of his voice
日
changed
僕が伝えに来たのは
to
助
give you
言だ
some advice.
予言というほど大層なものじゃない
It isn't as profound as a
けれど
prophecy.
これはほど近い未来の話だ
It is something that will happen in the near
それ
future.
がお前の本題か。
Finally, the reason you're here.
そう
Indeed. Emilio looked at everyone, then slowly
フ
began
ァ
to
ルツ
speak.
ォーネダンテ・ファルツォーネとニコラ・フランチェスカ
To to the Feltzone, in other words, Dante, Feltzone, and Nicola Francesca.
それにもしかしたらオルロックも聞いているかな。
I suppose this one involves you, Orla.
鍵の乙女は常に全ての時代で途切れず選ばれるような存在じゃない。
The Key Maiden is not one who is always chosen in every
ファル
generation.
ツォーネに残された文献にそう受け取れる記述はあった。
I recall reading about that in one of the texts passed down to our family.
鍵の乙女が出現した記録がない時代が100年以上続いているとかね。
I believe it stated something about the Key Maiden not appearing for over 100 years.
ただそれは記録に穴があるせいだと思っていたんだけど。
But I thought it was only because no one kept record during that span
そ
of
ういえ
time.
ばゲイカも言ってた。俺が使徒の使命を授かった時、
I recall His Excellency saying something about it when he assigned me my
使徒
mission.
は鍵の乙女を見守る役目があるけど、
A disciple must watch over the Key Maiden.
実際にその役割が機能するのはすごく珍しいって。
He mentioned that this responsibility was a rare
待ってく
one.
れ。おかしくねえか？
You're confusing me.
リリーは確か先代の鍵の乙女からほとんど間を置かずに選ばれてるよな。
I thought Lily was chosen to be a Key Maiden right after the previous one.
そうだよ。彼女が生まれたのはクロエ・ランベールの死から2年後だ。
Indeed, she was born only 2 years after the death of Chloe Lambert.
たったの2年。
Just 2 years.
これはとても
This
異
fact
常
is
なことなんだ。
quite unusual. Emilio continued, seeing we had nothing to
鍵
say.
の乙女が出現するのは必要に迫られて、
The fact that a
つま
Key
り
Maiden was born
彼女たちが背負う使
without
命
much
は
time in between means that her fate
生異物の移転が必要となるような何かが起きる可能性をも示唆している。
may be a sign of a dire event to come, something that requires the relic to be moved.
それだけ大きな争いがこの
Are you
町を
implying that this town
生異物の眠る地を襲うって。
is going to experience some sort of calamity?
断言はしない。
I can't say for sure.
僕は気まぐれに移ろう星を
All
読
I
んで
am
いる
doing
だ
is
けだ
reading
か
the
ら。
fleeting stars in the
た
sky.
だ、
But
君たちに本当の試練が訪れるのはこれからなのかもしれないよ。
the true trial to befall all of you may be actually be coming sooner rather than later. Emilio's calm voice echoed throughout the church hall. And with that, he left us behind. With no more to discuss, we all went our separate ways.
俺の答えは変わらない。
My answer remains the same.
守るべきものを守るだけだ。
I will protect what needs to be protected. We won't turn our backs and run, even if a tumultuous future awaits us. The reason being, we were all men of honor. Were you, though? Not even a cute picture with that. God. Okay. Chapters. Let's try this and see if we get it. I'm not even sure actually. Did I mess up already? We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see. It might be more guessing than this. Let's see. This could be the one where they just end up dying. I gotta... Okay, okay. How about oh, okay, hang on. It might be this easy. Maybe? I could forgive him.
それは同情かい？
I don't know if this is right or not. But it's acting like if I load this save, maybe. Is that because you feel sorry for him? I'm not sure.
世界は彼を憎んでいるよ。
He hates the
断
world.
罪されるべきと
Everyone will
誰もが言うだろう。
say he should be punished. Yes, you may be right. If he committed many sins, then many would probably hate him. Even so, even if the others said otherwise, even if the world said otherwise, I can't dismiss the suffering he endured during his life. I don't think vengeance is a good thing, but he must have suffered greatly. He was hurt and suffered in pain without finding any salvation along the way, which is why I can only assume did what he had to do, with no other option in sight. If Chloe's younger brother sought vengeance out of sheer madness, I could forgive him for what he had done. Even if it meant I might be hurt, it wouldn't change my answer. I know I'm just being lenient, but that's what I think. Henri extended a shaking hand to me, but before his fingers could touch me, he clenched his hand into a fist. Henri?
私には君に触れる資格がない。
I don't have the right to touch you. His words were weak and shaking.
私は罪を償わなければならない。それでも
I need to pay for my sins, even so. I hope I can.
君だけはこの狂った使命から解放したいと
Free you from this absurd mission.
願ってやまない。
That is my hope. Henri! And without another word, Henri turned and walked away. I was all alone now. Even after he left, I couldn't seem to bring myself to something or other. Couldn't bring myself to move. Alright. A few days pass. Dante and the others will be gathering at the church tonight to hold their meeting. I found an unexpected guest in the refectory. Hello there, Leo. Is Dante with you?
いや、ちょっと今日は個人的な事情で。
Oh, I came for personal reasons.
お姉ちゃん、友達が増えたのよ。
Sis, we have a new
この
friend.
子も今日から教会の子になるってシスターソフィアが言ってた。
Sister Sophia said he's gonna live with us starting today. I saw a boy in front of me that looked a bit younger than Jean.
すみません。俺が連れてきたんです。
I'm sorry I brought him
こ
here.
いつの親、フランスからブルローネに移り住んできたらしいんですけど、
His parents came here from France to live in Boulogne,
最
but
近治安が悪化して仕事ができなくなって仕方なくストラノに捨てられたって話で。
they lost their job with all the things happening, so he was abandoned in Strano. I see.
俺と似た境遇だったからほっとけなくて。でも、ただの構成員の俺がファルツォーネに子供を連れて行くわけにもいかないし。
I couldn't leave him behind. He's just like me, but I can't take him to the Falzone family, not with my status. So you brought him here.
はい。シスターは大丈夫だって。あの子もここで暮らせるって言
The
ってくれて。
sisters said he's welcome to live here, so
これからよろしくお願いします。俺もたびたび様子を見に来ますんで。
could you take care of him, please? I'll be sure to come as often as I can. Why, of course. I squatted down to get a closer look at him. Nice to meet you. My name's Liliana. You can call me Lily. What's your name?
こんにちは。僕はドゥドゥだよ。
Hello, I'm Dudu. Dudu? That's an unusual name.
この子はエドアールって言うんだ。ドゥドゥはあだ名なんだって。
His name is Eduardo. Dudu is a
お
nickname.
姉ちゃんもドゥドゥって呼んでいいよ。
You can call me Dudu too, sis. Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along very well, Dudu. Yep. I guess the French use nicknames a bit differently than we do. Nicknames. Come to think of it, Ratan's name is a bit unusual too. Could it be? Dudu?
何？
Yes. If someone's nickname is Ratan, what would their real name be?
多分、アンリじゃない？
I think it would be Henri.
お姉ちゃんどうかした？
Are you alright, sis? Oh, it's nothing. Thank you very much,
ど
Dudu.
ういたしまして。
You're welcome. I reflected on what I just learned as I watched the children playing together. Henri's nickname is Raton. Raton. Raton is the same amount of syllables as Henri. Usually a nickname is shorter. It was the middle of the night. Key members from each family were something or other. Imagine people calling you by your nickname as if it was your real name to the point that they didn't even realize what your real name was. It's wild. Usually a nickname is something you earn the pleasure of using, not instantly get to use. Oh.
それとね、リリー。
Are you gonna talk about my boyfriend? Oh, and Lily. Hmm.
うん。あのね、こんな時に聞くべきじゃないような気もするんだけど。
I know this isn't the time to ask you something like this.
でも、ずっと気になっていたのよね。いつ聞こうか、ずっと悩んでいたのよ。
It's been bothering me all this time. I was hoping I could ask you now. Okay, what?
あのね、
By
あ
any
なた
chance,
気になっている人がいるんじゃない？
is there someone who interests you? First thing you thought of. High five.
ほら、誰か
Doesn't
思い浮かんだん
someone
でしょ？
come to mind? What are you? Alina! I'm not like that. I mean, yes, there's someone that comes to mind, but
やっぱり気になっているんじゃない？
I knew it. You must be in love. She smiled, seeing me stutter. I suppose you can say I'm in love.
ねえ、一体誰？私の知ってる人？
Who is
も
it?
しかして。
Someone I know? Could it be?
教えて、リリー。話せる範囲でいいから。
Come on, Lily, who is it? Elena, I need you to shut up. Well... Suddenly, Elena clapped her hands
そうだ
together.
わ。今夜は一緒に寝ましょう。小さい頃みたいに。
I know, let's have a sleepover like we did when we were kids. Ha ha ha. Oh, goodness. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm threatening to kill him in his sleep. Oh, man. My eyeball. Rapamento. Rapamento. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting different choices. I think I did the right thing. We'll see. Oh, goodness. Do I still have it up here? Yeah. Let's see. We'll just call it what it is for now. Sunlight came in through the window. Sensing something, I went to look outside. Is it him? Henri! I hesitated only for a brief moment. I quickly put on my gown and hurriedly ran out of my room. And I was all like, yo, what's up, Breton? I made my way out to the garden where I was greeted with a stare. Henri, I thought you wouldn't come anymore. I thought he told me that what he said back then was with the intent of never coming back. He calmly began to speak.
昔この町にはとある兄弟がいた。
A certain brother and sister lived in this town.
彼らはフランスで生まれ育ったが、イタリアのとあるマフィアにとって姉はとても重要な存在だった。
They were born in France, but the sister was a very important person to a certain Italian family.
彼女自身もその家族もそんなことはつゆほども知らなかった。
Neither she nor her family knew her of her importance. His words confirmed what was on my
彼
mind.
女を誘拐する際に邪魔だった。
An opposing syndicate saw an
たっ
opportunity.
たそれだけの理由で兄弟の両親は当時
The
その
brother and
マフィア
sister's
と敵対
parents
関係にあった犯罪組織に
were murdered so that the sister could be held for ransom.
彼らは弟も殺すつもりだったのだろうがマフィアによって辛くも命を救われた。
They planned to kill them both later, but the mafia came and saved their lives.
兄弟はフランスからこの町に連れてこられ
Still same route.
マフィアの屋
Sort of.
敷で 大切に育てられた。
You actually missed the most boring part. I did the after story, which had nothing but dialogue and no pictures and no CG, and I was very confused. But now this is like the Henri ending I'm going for. I had like the good ending, question mark. I don't know, good bad ending. But I think this is the if you chose the monster ending right now. The siblings were taken from France and brought here to the Mafia's manor. Because I said I could forgive Henri is pretty boring. I was sitting going like, man, do I just want to skip this after story? Because like the after story was just them going like, guess what? Some guy. This is the summary. This guy showed up in the U.S. Oh my god, that's it. That was all it was. I could have done so much different. You really are. Seeing me say nothing, Henri continued his story. Call him Breton.
伝承によれば、姉はその家の当主と結ばれる運命にあったらしい。
According to lore, the sister and the mafia boss were bound by fate.
だが、伝承はあくまで伝承。当主本人も周囲も、
But lore is
そんな
simply
宿
that.
命で彼女を縛るつもりはなかったよ
The
うだ。
boss didn't want to shackle her to such a
し
fate,
かし、彼女は違った。
but she saw it differently.
姉は自分こそ、その男と結ばれるはずだと。
The sister believed she
心から
was
信じてい
destined
た。
to be with him.
彼が愛した女性に出会っても、なお、自分の方が彼にふ
I
さ
remember
わしい
feeling
はずだ
frustrated and
と。
disappointed in his route. The
徐々
problem
に
is,
精神を病んでい
I was bored in Dante's route too, though. Like, and I get it. Build your world. Do that. But, like, don't lose the point in the midst of all of that. Like, don't give me so much backstory. And, like, oh, by the way, like, I don't care about the weather today in a romance game. You know what I'm saying? We don't need this. I don't need all this detail. And they kept giving us so much, like, by the way, here's the social constructs, and here's a hierarchy, and here's this, and here's that. Just tell me I'm pretty, and, like, throw me off a cliff and catch me before I hit the ground, and I go, oh, swoon. Like, I don't need all that. There's too much. I'm losing my mind. But we'll see. We'll see. This is the Henri ending, I guess, now I'm going for. I have no clue. After the boss fell in love with another woman, the sister was convinced it must be her and soon went mad.
そして、誰も彼もを傷つけて。
She then died,
死んだ。
hurting everyone she knew. Henri gave an eerie grin that looked hauntingly sad.
今もよく夢を見るよ。姉の夢を。生きていた頃も、死んだ後のことも。
Getting Taco Bell at this late at night is a crime. Now I'm hungry. Oh my gosh. We have a place here called Filiberto's. I'm actually very excited. It's almost midnight, but they won't let you have it at midnight. On Wednesdays, they have like $2 bean burritos. Just bean, no cheese. Keep that in mind. But like, that's fine with me. It's great. It's a great time. And I was thinking of getting one on my way to work today. Oh, gosh, I made a burger today, which isn't very impressive. It was a patty we had in the freezer. I broiled it, but I did caramelize some onions for it. So, oh, and we still had a In-N-Out sauce in our fridge because we store that sauce. So we turned it into an In-N-Out burger. I still dream of my sister to this day. Not once has she left my dreams. I mumbled quietly after hearing his story. What a terrible story.
そうだな。
Indeed. Henri calmly responded. He then closed his eyes and
ど
chuckled.
うして君にこんな話をしたのか、よくわからない。
I'm unsure as to why I'm telling this to you.
ただ、君に知っておいてほしかった。聞いてほしかったんだ。
Girl, reach out and touch him. Jeez. I assume it's because I
すまない。
wanted you to listen and know of my story. Forgive me. It's alright. I'm happy you shared with me your story. Thank you. Say Rattan. Why would you say Henri? Say Rattan, which is the same amount of syllables, which makes no sense that his nickname would be Rattan, but his name would be Henri. Henri is easier to say than Rattan.
嬉しい。
Happy. Yes, I did wish to know more about you. So I'm happy you told me your story.
そうか。君は変わっているな。
I see you haven't changed. When did we meet before? He looked like Henri was smiling. His eyes reflected sorrow, grief, and a hint of
聞いても
hesitance.
いいだろうか。
Do you mind if I ask you something? Yes, I mind. Yes.
君はマフィアが怖くないのか？
Aren't you scared of the mafia? Well, God, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Am I? Should I just cheat? I still have the guide pulled up to see what it wants me to say. I'm not, which is what I would say, because that's true. Here's the thing, right? Sometimes I'm like, don't lie, and then I'm like, ugh, lie. Just because they're the mafia doesn't mean they're scary. They're all good people.
君は思わないのか？
Don't you want to be set
自由
free? Well, no. No, no. I haven't thought much about having freedom or wanting freedom.
神を
Have
恨
you
んだこと
ever
は
cursed God? Well, no. Yes. Says yes. Well, I couldn't answer him right away. I couldn't say it hadn't crossed my mind. I have cursed God
そう
before.
だな。それが当然だ。
Yes, that's only natural. He closed his eyes and paused for a
こ
moment.
んなにも似るものなのか。同じ使命を負わされた者は。
To imagine that those with the same fate could be so similar. Is this right? Am I doing it right? Am I going to get the right ending? How do I get the good ending? Why does this all say bad ending? It says bad ending, bad ending, bad ending, bad ending, bad ending, bad ending, bad ending. Where's the good ending? Did I get a good ending? Oh my god. I will double check what my ending said, but I could have sworn mine said bad ending. To imagine that those with the same fate could be so similar. Because there was nothing romantic about the ending I had. Ooh, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't called Rayon de Lumiere. Oh, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell I got this. Wait, what am I doing wrong? How am I wrong? Henri. He looked at me quietly. His eyes looked coldly as I felt as though I saw a shadow of hatred in them.
鍵の乙女
You
リリ
gonna
アーナ・
kill
アドル
me?
ナート
Key Maiden Liliana Aldonado. He knows I'm the Key Maiden. I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I'm like, yes, Rattan. I'm sure he's talked to me back then because he knew who I was. Someone with Chloe's fate.
鍵の乙女という自分に課せられたものを君はどう思っている？
Key Maiden, what is your views on the fate you have? Like, I don't understand. On the fate that you've been burdened with? Well, it's a burden. To be honest, it feels like a burden sometimes. I still haven't been able to fathom to this day that I'm actually special. I see. I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm doing. This is saying, oh no, wait, what have I done wrong? I thought I was doing the right things to get the good ending. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm on the thing to get the bad ending in this choice scenario, but there is another one, which we'll do afterwards. My bad. He's Henry's side.
君はクロエだ。
You're Chloe. Huh?
クロエと同じ。いや、そのものだ。私が救えなかったクロエ。
You're the same as. No, you are Chloe, the Chloe I couldn't save. Henri, what's the matter? Henri's eyes were gentle and kind. He slowly came towards me. Henri. I took a step back.
大丈夫だよ。救ってあげるから。
It's okay, I'll save you. He's gonna smother me with a pillow. This is Nora 9 all over again. He was looking at me with a gentle smile. He reached his hands out to me and softly placed a damp towel over my mouth. Oh. Well, my vision went dark. I heard his words as I fell into slumber.
私を信じてほしい。
Please trust me. Oh, his voice was gentle and kind. I made a mistake. That's my bad. She was sleeping quietly on the
すでに
sofa.
準備は整った。もう大丈夫だ。
Everything is ready. It'll be alright. No one was around. No one could stop me. She was regaining her consciousness. Her eyelashes were fluttering and her eyes slowly opened as she turned my way. Henri, where am I? An explosion rocketed the casino. She quickly got up and was shaken with
大
fear.
丈夫だよ。何も心配いらない。
Oh, it's alright. Don't worry, Chloe. I hate that. I hate when they start calling you the name of someone who's dead that they cared about. It's just, I don't know. How often has this happened? Oh, God. Lucas did not Lucas. Mathis. Mathis did to this to us at one point. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, Chloe. I gently cradled her shaking body.
ごめんね。ごめんね。僕、
I'm sorry, Chloe. I'm
ひど
so
いことを言っ
sorry.
て
I'm sorry for being so mean to
一
you.
人で苦しかったでしょ。もう大丈夫だよ。今度は僕も一緒だから。
Must have been lonely by yourself, but it's alright. I'll be with you. Wait, Henri, I'm not Chloe.
大丈夫だよ。クロエ。
He just like puts his hand over your face. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay, Chloe. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm like reading this to make sure I'm not making. Just because of the mafia doesn't mean they're scary. They're good people. I haven't thought much about having freedom or wanting freedom. I have cursed God before. Feels like a burden. I haven't been able to fathom this day. Blah, 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 blah. Henri! Thank goodness.
これでようやく。
I can save Chloe. Flames engulfed the area as the explosions continued. The ceiling collapsed and rubble fell. She was calling my name in my arms. I could finally embrace her once more. Okay. I mean, as long as he's happy. You do you, boo. You do you. That's my bad. I got to the bad ending. That's my bad. Same spot. Wrong answer. Go back. Alright, so... Of course I'm scared of them. Violence and crime are never right, but after getting to know them better, I realize they're made up of many people.
君は思わないのか？
Don't you want to be set free? Yes. Yes, I'd rather be free than be shackled down to something, but I think I'd said this before.
君はもっと自由に。
Man. I don't believe I'm lacking any freedom.
ああ、知っている。与えられた環境の中で、君は前向きに生きてきた。
I know, you've lived a life within your boundaries. Yeah, but if you're in a sandbox and you never reach the corner of the sandbox, you're never gonna know you're in a sandbox, right? Henri, come on.
それはどうして？君は今、さまざまなものに縛られているはずだ。
So why? You're bound and shackled to many things
思
now.
い通りにならないことも多いだろう。例えば、
I'm sure
人の
things
気持ち。
don't always go your way. For example, people's feelings. Yes, but I don't think that having everything go one's way is equivalent to freedom.
誰かの気持ちを自分の思うままにしたいとは思わない。
You don't wish to have people's feelings unfold in your favor. To be honest, it hasn't crossed my mind.
神を。
Have you ever cursed God? This is where I should have realized the problem, because no, she's never cursed God. She's happy. No, I replied a bit hesitantly as I tried to think about it. If someone's precious to me were being threatened with danger, and if I couldn't do anything about it, nor could I get anyone to help, only then might I curse God for putting me in such a
今は
situation.
違う。
That's not how things are now. Yes, I have many who could help me, who I can even help in some way too. I just have to be strong and face whatever stands in my way one at a time. That's how I live every day. Thank you for part 2 stream tonight. Oh, thank you, Bess. Maybe it's just that I simply don't have the luxury of cursing anyone now. Maybe later. I'll curse them out later. I smiled at my final comment and Henri fell silent. Henri! He looked at me quietly. His eyes looked coldly, and I felt as though I saw a shadow of hatred in them.
鍵の乙女、リリアーナ・アドルナート。
Key Maiden, Liliana Aldernado. He knows I'm the Key Maiden. I shouldn't be surprised at this point. I'm sure blah 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 blah. I read that already. It's my fate, my guy. If I've been chosen by fate, then I want to do what I can to fulfill it. I understand it isn't easy, but I still want to do my best.
そう。
I see. Henri sighed.
最後にもう一つだけ聞かせてくれ。
Let me ask you one last thing. Yes.
君はこの町が好
Do
き
you
か？
like this town? Oh, did he ask this before? I replied, dot, 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 yes? I like Berlin.
どうしてこの町は今や住みよい町とは言えないだろ
You can't say that this is a livable town.
う。以前の面影はもうほとんど残っていない。暴力に支配された場所になった。
This place isn't like before. It's ruled by violence and force. Yes, but even so, I still like this town. Henri, there are some people who haven't changed a bit, even with what's happening. I like those people, and seeing them no different from before makes me happy. Once all the rioting and turmoil subsides, I'm sure things will go back to normal again. People will smile like they did before.
君は似ている。けれど違う。
You're similar and yet you're not.
もう帰るよ。君も冷えてしまう前に中に戻った方がいい。
I need to get going. You better get back inside before you catch a cold. All right, Rattan, if you say so. Ah, I called his name as he turned his back to leave. Wait, Rattan. That's right, bitch. Bitch. Your shoulder twitched slightly. You're Rattan, aren't you? Rattan is the French nickname for Henri, right?
君にはその名で呼ばれたくない。
I don't want you calling me that name. Why? Oh, I'm not cool enough, he muttered coldly and quickly departed the church grounds. Henri. I turned around to go back inside the church after watching Henri leave. Suddenly, I saw Orlok coming out of the dormitories.
ごめんリリー。ちょっとうとうとしてて。
Sorry, Lily, I was sleeping until
も
now.
う起きると思わなかったから来るのが遅れた。
I didn't expect you to be awake so early, so I didn't make it here on time. There's no need to apologize. I should be the one apologizing for going out. I must have worried you, leaving like that without saying anything.
けど安心した。何もなかったみたいだから。
Yes, but it's okay now. I'm glad nothing happened. Yes, I only came out here to get a breath of fresh air. I'm going to clean up the church. Will you help me, Orlok? Reminisce. Man, does a woman call him Ritan? Oh, I was enjoying an espresso in Arca when I saw a certain someone. Roberto came out of the police station and walked towards me. Our eyes met, but he looked away.
やあロベルト。
Hello, Roberto.
ああ。
Hello.
君が突っかかってこないなんて珍しいね。どうしたの？変なものでも食べた？
You're not biting back at me. What happened? Did you have something bad for lunch?
いつも通りだ。お前こそ何か。
I'm the same as usual. What are you?
いや。
Never mind. Roberto frowned as he swallowed his words and continued on his way. Come to think of it, that was when this was where I first met him. Didn't need a Roberto flashback. I believe he was just stationed in Berlin back then. I was enjoying a cup of espresso back then as well. I stepped in between him and a woman who seemed to be entangled in an argument. After that, he stopped me before I left.
おい。なかなかの手際だな。
You, quite a trick you pulled. He lacked tact, that's for sure, but he seemed to like me back then.
俺はローマから来たばかりなんだが、この町について話を聞かせてくれないか？
I just got here from Rome. Can you tell me about this
海
town?
沿いのリストランテはどこも美味しいよ。毎朝新鮮な魚を仕入れているから。
The restaurants along the coast all are exceptional. They serve the freshest fish,
そう
seafood.
か。お前に時間があるなら、もう少し詳しく教えてくれ。
I see. If you have time, do you mind telling me more? They were almost friends. Roberto probably didn't realize that I was mafia. I didn't know he was an officer either. I shared with him my favorite bars and shops around the area. He seemed quite pleased then. It had been a rocky first impression, but I realized he was good deep inside. Ooh, how deep? So deep? A few weeks later, a Falzoni soldier caused a ruckus in Arca. I went to the police station to bail him out, and it was then I realized Roberto was actually a police officer. He mentioned he had come from Rome, so I assumed he was assigned here. If what he wanted was to return to Rome, he would need to cut ties with me. I filled out the forms needed to set bail. Roberto saw me and came to talk to me, but I disregarded him as if we weren't there. The result, it seems he hated me now. We were almost friends.
ニコラ・フランチェスマフィアの分際でよくもこの通り
僕が
舐めているのか
Since then, he keeps hassling me each time we meet. It was quite a pain,
お
really,
とな
but
しくなられるとそれはそれでつまらないというか
it's boring seeing him being so quiet like this. Just yell at him. I decided to head out to the church. That works.
もちろん最近俺ちょっと掃除が楽しくなってきた
I actually enjoy doing the cleaning. Hehe, I can relate. It feels good to see things nice and clean. We both looked at each other with a smile and headed inside the church. Perfect. Oh yeah, and then he decides, hey, want to come with me? And I'm like, sure, why not? And he's like, we're going on a date. And I go like, we're not going on a date, but like kind of are going on a date, so I gotta pretend. And she's like, I gotta get in this headspace. I like Nicola. Wrong blonde boy. Hopefully we're on the right path. We'll find out. Okay, just in case. Just in caseies. We're gonna save. I could still be wrong. I could still have to go back all the way to the beginning and do this again. I don't know anything. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. And then... Nicola tried to take the rope off me, but I shook my head in response. Run, Nicola, don't worry. You can leave me here. He was stunned by what I just said. If they find you, they'll kill you for sure. But if what you said is right, then I won't be killed, right? If we tried to escape together, all I would do was burden him. It's best for you to escape alone and make sure you survive.
置いていくわけにはいかない。君も絶対に安全だって保証はないんだ。
I can't leave you here. There's no guarantee that you'd be safe. There's also no reason to. I understand. I looked straight into Nicola's eyes. I'll be fine. I also need to meet him anyway. I need to meet him as the Key Maiden, as Liliana or Leonardo. He stared into my eyes for a while with a grim face. Noticing that I wasn't going to budge, he finally let out a sigh. You need to let everyone know. He had to notify everyone that Rattan tried to kill him and that they have a base here. Back at church, I told you that I understood that your plan could be dangerous. I want to help the town too, so I have to do what I can. A lot of people I know and care for live here after all. Please listen, Nicola. He thought in silence for a bit, then shrugged in disbelief. You're just unbelievable. His eyes wavered with hesitation as he gritted his teeth. All of a sudden, Nicola quickly raised his head. I listened closely to him amidst the noise of the machine. Someone is talking outside. Nicola crouched down and looked at me. He gave me his promise.
君を必ず助ける。ファルツォーネの誇りにかけて。
I'll save you in the name of Falzone. I nodded and smiled as he promised. Please be safe. He gave a reassuring smile as he hurriedly headed next to the door. A few seconds later, bum bum bum, the door opened and a man stepped inside the room. He covered the man's mouth with a hand and slid his knife along his neck. Jeez! Oh, No! In an instant, he slit the man's throat. The blood spewed high into the air. Unable to speak, the man fell to his knees. I bit my tongue to keep myself from screaming as I turned my head away. Like you. Behind the man was another who tried to raise his voice, but Nicola's bloody blade went right into the man's eye. Nico reluctantly pulled his knife out and kicked the man to the ground. Without turning back, he ran out of the room. Wait, damn it. I heard yelling outside, followed by gunfire. Another scream could be heard. Come to think of it, this must be some kind of factory with all these machines running. If so, there must be others working here besides the black-suited men. After him, don't let him get away. Calm down. But you saw that, didn't you? He'll kill anyone going after him. Don't forget, our mission is to ensure she's with us. Hey. They must have given up on pursuing him. The men came into the room. They didn't have their mask on, probably because they were caught off guard. I bit my lip and glared at them. The men frowned, looking at the blood splattered about the place. We need to clean this place up. We should be able to save him as long as the blade didn't reach his brain. The other person crumbled on the ground was already dead. The man who was stabbed was still breathing. The men hurriedly took him out of the room. And one of the suited men remained and slowly walked towards me mechanically. Time to go to sleep. I prayed for Nicola's safety. As long as he escaped, everyone will. Rayon de Lumiere. Lumiere means light. That's all I know. That's all I got. I was treated by a doctor upon my return. I left Liliana behind. She wasn't going to budge. I could tell very well that she had no intention of changing her mind. But was this really the right call? My mind replayed the scene over and over again. Why have you come back alone? Bum 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 bum. That's so fair. Orlok was rightfully upset. With a casino raid tomorrow, we made plans to meet later tonight. I somehow made it to the church in time. I brought with me evidence of the factory's involvement in the counterfeiting, but in turn, I left the person I was supposed to protect with my life behind. And all I had was broken bones to prove it. You promised you'd protect her. Why did you? I'm sorry. My bad.
まったくだ。自分の発した言葉に責任を持て、フランチェスカ。
Unbelievable. You can't keep a promise, can you, Francesca?
だが、なかなか有益な情報を持ち帰ったな。
However, you
悪く
brought
ない
back
働きで。
some useful information. Nice work.
そうだな。工場の位置が分かって、証拠も抑えられた。
Yeah, we know where the factory is and we have the proof we need now.
俺はニコラの行動のすべてが間違ってたとは思わねえよ。
I don't think all of Nicola's moves were wrong. He was thinking ahead, right? Oh, I'm surprised Gil's okay with that. Horlock, poor baby. My sweet baby. Dante. He wasn't showing any anger despite being the most worried here. I'd rather he yell at me instead. The worst case scenario crossed my mind. At the same time, a part of me suspected that she was actually just fine. I recalled my conversation with Rattan.
君はこのところ何度も教会に通っていたね。オルロックからも聞いているよ。
I heard from Orlok you've been frequenting the church lately.
かわいそうに。君は彼女のことまで犠牲にするつもりなんだろ
Poor thing. You're planning on sacrificing her for your own benefit, aren't you?
違う。彼女を犠牲になどしない。
No, I would never sacrifice her for such a thing. I was surprised he showed any emotion, but what I just heard wasn't the voice of a casino directory, it was Rattan's voice. He must have noticed He said too much. She quickly turned around to leave. This was not the time to be in pain. She put her life at risk because she trusted me. Did she? We decided to change our plan so that we could rescue Liliana. We'll take action immediately. The casino will see hell tonight. I believe you. Barely. I slowly opened my heavy eyelids. I'm in the directory's room. I did it. I'm upgraded. I didn't recognize this place. Where am I? I slowly sat up on the plush sofa. I don't hear the machines anymore. I wasn't entirely sure what happened, but it looked like I had been asleep the whole time. The ropes binding me were gone. I turned my head towards the knocking door suddenly. A person came in and bowed to me, seeing that I was awake.
当カジノへようこそいらっしゃいました。鍵の乙女。
Welcome to my casino, Key Maiden. His elegant attire, overly polite demeanor, and theatrical gestures, I knew it was the directori. I began to speak to him slowly and calmly. Show me your face. I continued to speak. You asked me before whether I would forgive his poor soul. I said I would, because I understood that he was still a child and that his sister was his entire life. The siblings' parents were killed and they were taken to another land to be raised by the mafia. I could only imagine what they went through. I kept thinking about how much sorrow he felt with the loss of his sister, so I couldn't simply dismiss his hatred for the mafia. He gave a brief sigh. Does he do it? Does he do it? He placed his hand on his mask.
私は姉を、クロエを殺したファルツォーネを憎んだ。
Notice how his eye behind his hair suddenly exists now too. I despise the Falzone for killing my sister Chloe.
すべてはファルツォーネとファルツォーネが執着するこの町を潰すため。
And I'm doing it. All I'm doing is getting rid of the Falzone and bringing chaos to the town, supporting them.
クロエが死んだ日から今日までのすべてを私は復讐に費やしてきた。
Ever since Chloe died, I spent every single day of my life living for vengeance. And you committed crimes for that purpose.
手段は選ばなかった。私は彼らを許さない。
I kept myself open to options. I would never let them go for what they've done.
彼らを潰すためなら何でもすると決めた。
I would do anything to eliminate them. Okay.
私は神を信じない。だから神の罰など怖くはない。
I don't believe in God, so I don't fear him.
神はクロエを選びながらクロエを救わなかった。そんな力なき存在を恐れはしない。
God chose Chloe, yet he didn't save her. Why should I fear such a useless existence? I stopped myself from interrupting, seeing him shackled to his twisted revenge. I'm sure Henri knows already. Even if God didn't punish Henri, what he was doing was wrong. Henri, why did you come to the church? Why did you keep talking to me?
鍵の乙女に選ばれた君を知りたかった。些細な好奇心だよ。
It was merely curiosity. I wished to know who the new Key Maiden was.
この計画が動き出せば、君が犠牲になる。
You would be sacrificed under my plan.
いや、君を犠牲にする可能性が高かった。
You would? Well, okay. No, it was a likely possibility. Henri looked at me with his cold eyes as he continued without any emotion.
鍵の乙女を使えば、ファルツォーネを罠にかけることが容易になる。
It would be easier to lure the Falzone family to my trap using the Key Maiden.
だから、すべてを始める前に会っておこうと思った。
So I wanted to meet
姉
you
の次
beforehand
に選ばれたのは、
to see what
どんな子
kind
な
of
のか。
girl was chosen next. I'm still alive. You haven't sacrificed me. You warned me to stay far away from the mafia, but I hadn't budged at all. I couldn't stay away because I wanted to do everything I could to help them. You were warning me to stay away so that I wouldn't get caught in your plan, weren't you? You helped me when I was caught in the chaos in town. He could have turned a blind eye to me, but he came to help me.
助けるつもりなどなかったよ。
I had no intention of helping
君
you.
のことを心配するのはやめる。あの言葉は本心だった。
I was serious when I said I wouldn't worry about you anymore. His face twisted in pain.
君とはもう関わらないつもりだったのに。どうしてか教会に足が向いた。
I wasn't planning on getting involved with you, but I found myself at the church.
君が騒ぎに巻き込まれているのを目にすれば、考える間もなく飛び出してしまった。
I intervened the moment I saw you in danger.
人を犠牲にすることに慣れた私が。
I am accustomed to sacrificing people. Henri chuckled to himself with scorn.
君とクロエはどこか似ている。
You and Chloe are alike.
それが鍵の乙女だからなのかは私にもわからないが。
It may be because you were both chosen to be key maidens.
君とクロエが違う人間だと分かっていながら、私は君の中に
I know you're
い
not
つしか
Chloe.
その面影を
Before I
求
knew
め
it, I
て
was searching for her within you.
いつしかクロエに似ている君を私は犠牲にしたくないと思い始めた。
Perhaps that was around the time when I didn't want to sacrifice you
君
anymore.
はクロエとは違う。別人なのだと確信したくて、
I kept going
何
to
度
see
も
you
君に会いに行って、
to try and convince myself that you weren't Chloe. And heck. And finally, it was then that I knew in my heart that you
よ
weren't.
うやくあの時になって初めて君とクロエは別の人間なのだと
He's
心
referring to. I think I know exactly what he's referring to.
君は似ている。
The room filled with silence. How long had we been looking at each other? Henri suddenly mumbled.
幼かった私はクロエに自由を与えてあげることができなかった。
I wasn't able to give Chloe the freedom she deserved back then.
何もできないまま死なせてしまった。
I let her die and I couldn't stop
だ
it.
から同じ役目を負い、教会で育ち、自由もなく、この町から出ることもできず生きている君
You're
を
following her fate, living a life without freedom, unable to leave this town.
外に連れ出したかったのかもしれない。たとえそれが一時のことでも。
Maybe that's why I wanted to take you outside, even if it was only a moment.
あの日は君も笑ってくれた。今思い返すとそれが
You smiled at me
少
then,
し嬉しいよ。
and that brought joy to my heart. That one time. That's right. I enjoyed our stroll that morning so much that I hoped we could go again.
君とは少なからず言葉を交わしてきたけれど、君を笑顔にすることができたのは、
I've spoken a number of times with you, but that was about the only
あの
time
時くらいだったから。
I was able to bring a smile to your face. Henri. His words brought a sharp pain in my heart. He closed his eyes and placed the mask back on his face to end the conversation.
じきに舞台は終幕を迎える。君には私と共に来てもらおう。
The curtains will fall shortly. I'll have you come with me. And then he starts singing right as he was walking. He goes, I forgot all the lines of Phantom of the Opera except for that part. The Phantom, that part. The casino hall echoed with sounds of gunfires and screams. Dante must have begun their attack. The patrons who were there gambling were now running for their lives. The mafia soldiers pointed their guns to them as they led them outside. Lily! Lily! Orlok shouted my name, the first to notice my presence. Henri was behind me with his gun pointed at me. Nicolas.
約束したよね。君を迎えに来た。
I promised that I'd come for you. He must have escaped safely. Seeing him here made me sigh in relief. Dante saw Henri and began to speak in a harsh voice.
ディレットーレ、お前の目的はファルツォーネに対する復讐だろ
Directore, your objective is to exact revenge on the Falzone family.
そう、これはクロエの復讐ですよ、ファルツォーネ様。
Indeed, this is to avenge Chloe, Senor Falzone.
ファルツォーネの宿命にお前の姉を、いや、お前たちを巻き込んだことには謝罪する。
I apologize for dragging you and your sister into the Falzone's mission. Henri quietly listened to what Dante was saying. The mask he wore hid his expression.
俺はその責任を負うのはカポである自分だけでいい。鍵の乙女を巻き込みたくはないと思っていた。
I don't want to involve the Key Maiden in my mission as head of the Falzone.
先代も同じ気持ちだっただろう。クロエを、お前たちの両親を犠牲にしたくなかったはずだ。
That was the same with my father as well. He didn't want to sacrifice Chloe or your parents.
巻き込みたくない？上辺だけなら何とでも言えるでしょう。
You didn't want us involved. Sweet words to cover your dirty deeds.
その証拠に、今もまたファルツォーネは鍵の乙女に無理を強いているではありませんか？
Even now, the Falzone have the Key Maiden shackled to her fate.
その言葉が正しいかどうかは本当は君が一番わかっているんじゃない？
You must know more than anyone that you're wrong.
君だって彼女と話したんだろ？
You've been speaking with her after all. Henri quietly turned his attention to Nicola.
君は何もかもをファルツォーネのせいにしたいみたいだけど、でも本当は気づいているはずだ。
You're blaming the Falzone family for everything, but you know better.
彼女がどういう人間か、どうして僕たちに関わり続けるのか。
You're aware of who she is and why she's attached to us. I began to speak, seeing Henri go silent. I'm not being forced to help them. They aren't using me either. They tried to protect me. I turned to Henri and tried to reach him with my honesty. I wanted to get involved with them. I wanted to help Berlone in any way I could.
そもそも誰が鍵の乙女になるかはファルツォーネの預かり知らないこと。
The Key Maiden is chosen outside of the Falzone's family's control.
鍵の乙女を選ぶのは人の範囲にない力。ダンテたちを責めても
It's a force beyond human reach. There's no meaning in blaming Dante for
もし
this.
信仰が教国が悪いというのなら俺たちは甘んじて受け入れるけど。
If the church was the source of the problem, we should be the ones punished.
責任転嫁に過ぎません。それでファルツォーネの罪が消えるとでも？
That's simply shifting the blame. You think that would absolve them of their sins.
ところで、その罪とは何を指す？
What is this sin you speak of? Yang smiled
お前
teasingly.
の姉は先代のファルツォーネ当主に惚れていたそうだが。
Your sister was in love with the previous Falzone's boss, no?
お前たちがこの町に来た頃、先代にはすでに婚約者がいたという話だ。
Apparently, he was already engaged before you two came to this town.
まさか、それが悪いとでも言うのか？ファルツォーネに非があると？
Is that what you're referring to as their sin? That's why the Falzone is to blame?
一人思い込み、恋に狂っただけ。罪があるとすればその女だろう。
Your sister blindly fell in love with anything. She's the one who sinned. I could tell Henri's emotions were rising inside him, hearing Yang blaming Chloe.
ファルツォーネがクロエを殺したことには変わりはない。
That doesn't change the fact the Falzone killed Chloe.
そうか？彼女は自殺だったんだろ？ファルツォーネが直接手を下したわけじゃねえ。
Is that so? She committed suicide. The Falzone didn't do anything directly.
そんな嘘で私を騙せるとでも。クロエは殺されたんだ。
You think I'd buy that lie? Chloe was
こ
murdered.
っちも当時の事件を担当した刑事に聞いてる。自殺か、じゃなけりゃ事故で間違いねえって話だ。
I had that checked with the detective who investigated her death, and he said otherwise.
少なくともマフィアによるものじゃない。お前は当時から疑ってたようだがな。
And at the very least, she wasn't killed by the mafia. You're blaming them without proof.
ブルローネの警察など信用できない。マフィアにおもねるためな平気で
Berlone
嘘をつく。
police can't be trusted. They can easily lie for the sake of the
ク
mafia.
ロエは確かに殺された。私の目の前で銃
Chloe
に
was
撃たれ
killed.
て。
She was shot before my very eyes. Shot? Henri, Chloe died falling from a cliff. Did you really see Chloe being shot and killed?
私
I...
銃でいやクロエはナイフに刺されて
No. God, no. Chloe, she was stabbed.
違う彼女は毒を飲まされて
She was poisoned and...
彼女の死因は溺死だった。上がった遺体に銃創はなかったはずだ。
She died from drowning. They didn't find any gunshot wounds on her body.
海
The sea. Henri was holding his head in his hands as if he was in great pain.
そもそもマフィアが手を下すなら遺体が上がるような処理はしないが
If it were in the mafia's hands, they would have made sure the body was never found.
姉が死んだ当時ならともかく今のお前はそれくらい理解できるだろう
You may not have known that before, but you must be well aware of that by now.
違う
No, I...
私はクロエのために
Chloe.
彼女を苦しめた者に
Revenge for her suffering. I turned completely around to face him, his gun now pointed at my chest. I spoke to Henri, who was mumbling in pain. Henri, would Chloe want revenge? You said to me that I'm just like her. This is just me, but if I were her... If I were in her situation, completely obsessed with a man to the point that I'd throw myself off a cliff because he got married to another woman and had a baby, I wouldn't want to be avenged, even with all that has happened. I wouldn't want my brother to suffer. You're an only child, so... He gritted his teeth, holding back the pain. Henri. I slowly lowered his arm with the gun in hand. It slipped away and fell to the ground. Then suddenly, the casino shook with a violent explosion. Ah! Henri immediately pushed me hard towards Dante. Dante embraced me before I could fall. The explosion continued, and soon the hall was filled with smoke. Flames began to engulf the area. Henri! I called his name, but he didn't respond. He slowly walked away, towards the flames. Ah! Dante pulled me back as I tried to go after Henri. I looked up at Dante, and he silently shook his head. No. He's like, no, girl. Let's go. And then... I was forcefully dragged out of the burning casino. Henri!
落ち着くんだ
Calm down, Lily. You're being emotional. God forbid. I turned around and looked at everyone. They're all just staring at me. And I'm sad. I'm so sorry. I forced myself out of Dante's hands. I need to go. Lily, no. Warlock, I swear, I know you're the fastest man on this planet, but can you calm down right now? I can't leave him there. The flames brought tears into my eyes. Despite that, I was moved to action by an emotion I couldn't describe. I ran into the burning casino. And died? Girl? I walked through the casino halls aimlessly. The mask in my hands fell to the floor.
私は悪夢を見ていた目覚めている間さえ
I've been having a nightmare even though I'm awake.
私のせいには何の救いも与えられなかった
I couldn't save
神
anyone.
は私を導きはしない
God isn't leading me. Why did she die without me? Why did she leave me only with hatred?
この手を汚した時引き返せないと悟った
I knew there was no turning back the moment I dirtied my hands. I dropped to my knees amidst the searing heat and slowly closed my eyes.
ようやく終わらせることができる
But now I can finally end it all. I can finally be saved suddenly. Henri! The voice was too vivid to be a dream. I turned around, fear gripping my chest. Why? She wasn't supposed to be here. This place was crumbling and burning to
ど
ruin.
うして来たんだリリアーナ
Why are you here, Liliana? Dude, I came for you. Can you not tell? Like, I'm saying your name. Let's go. She yelled, frightened, and grabbed my arm. Why is she touching me? Doesn't she know I'm the most unsightly being to ever exist? Dude, that goes in my profile. I could tell that the way out was already engulfed in
この
flames.
まま彼女を連れてはいけない
can't have her follow me. Liliana isn't Chloe.
こっちだ。
This way. I mustered the strength to start walking. Liliana was looking at me with hesitation and fear in her face. She quietly followed.
生きていて
She has to live. She has to. Good, I'm glad you have some conviction here. I'm gonna be so real with you. Orlok should have followed her inside. Henri. He quietly touched the base of the statue, which started to move. The statue sunk into the ground, opening a hidden path beneath it.
ここに入るんだ。この地下通路はブルローネの外までつながっている。
This path will lead you outside Berlone, but
私は一緒には行けない。
I can't go with you.
リリアーナ。
Liliana. Henri urged me to go, but I couldn't let go of his hand now. What are you going to do? Are you staying here?
それは。
Henri's expression revealed his intentions to me. I quickly shook my head. I won't let you go. I will stay. I'll stay. If you stay, I'll stay. He frowned at me as he began to speak in an irritated voice.
死にたいのか。なぜそんなわがままを。
Why would you want to die? I don't, and I don't want you to die either. Henri, come with me. The fire was getting stronger as we argued. I knew I was being selfish, but I had no plans of letting him go. I didn't want him to die. Henri gave a weary sigh as the bellowing smoke continued to fill the room. Oh man, he gave up easy. That was easy. Let's go. Yes, yay! And she's like, we're gonna do, and then he just shuts the door behind him. Waiting for him to walk first, I stepped into the underground exit. It looked like the smoke hadn't gotten through here. The air was damp and cold. Suddenly, the place shook. Debris fell and mercifully blocked our way out. You can die here, it's fine. Ah! The shaking caused me to let go of Henri, and I fell to the ground. He quickly reached out to me, but his hand stopped moving midway. He quietly looked at me and spoke with a hesitant voice.
大丈夫か。
Are you alright? Yeah, I'd be better if you had grabbed me. My god. I smiled as I got up. The fire was no longer a threat, but thinking that I could have died out there brought a chill over my body. I was feeling relieved now that Henri was here with me. I dusted myself off and turned to Henri. Henri, where does this lead?
このカジノができる以前から存在していた通路だと聞いている。
I heard this passage was here before the casino was built.
私も実際に使ったことはない。以前見た地図が正しければ、1日ほど歩けば街の外
I've
に出
never
る。
used it before, but if the map is correct, it should lead us outside town.
ここからは君一人で。
You're safe for now, so come with me, Henri. Knowing that what I was going to say, Henri went quiet. He tiredly closed his eyes.
本当にわがままだな。
Quite selfish indeed. Sorry.
君のわがままを否定できるだけの理屈を
I don't have the right to
今の
deny your
私は持ち合わ
selfishness
せて
now.
いない。
Yeah. With that, Henri looked away from me and continued walking. I hurriedly followed to keep pace behind him. Henri quietly continued on his way. It was almost winter. The air in the passage was cold. He was walking slowly ahead of me as if he was dragging himself forward with each step. I tried to keep up with him, but the frigid cold was making it difficult to match his pace. I was tripping a lot more now. I tried my best to hide the cold that was eating away at the warmth of my body. Henri suddenly stopped. Henri? I looked at him hesitantly. Henri's eyes were looking at me with hesitation as well. He sighed, then took off his coat. My gosh. He placed his coat over me, then sat us down beside each other. Henri?
少し
Her little face.
休んでくれ。
She's so cute. Rest a while. What is that? Your knee? What is this? Henri whispered quietly. His eyes were staring into the open space. There was a lot of questions I had for him, but feeling his warmth was lulling me to sleep. Henri. My body was at its limit. Wow, a sleep moment. This 1 second. Oh gosh. Get the fire under control, Dante was yelling angrily. The firefighters, police, and even the mafia were trying to extinguish the flames. The members who attacked the factory joined the efforts as well, but this was no ordinary fire. The explosions were so strong that despite everyone's efforts, the fire showed no signs of diminishing. Gilbert was quietly glaring at the casino when suddenly he took off his jacket.
よし、さっきより火の勢いが弱まったな。これくらいならいけるだろう。
Good. Looks like it's a bit weaker than before. Time to go in. Gilbert.
やめろ！何度言わせるんだ！死ぬ
Stop.
ぞ！
You're gonna die. Oliver was trying his best to stop Gilbert from charging into the casino.
レ
Listen,
ッドフォードは本当に死にたいらしい。そろそろ行かせてやったらどうだ？
if we were going to not let her go in by herself, we should have gone in when she went in. So your moment of sacrifice now is pretty silly. You could have just ran in when she went because she already went inside. I see Redford has a death wish. If that's the case, why not let him be? Hearing Yang's ridiculous jesting, the usually quiet Warlock went into a
どう
fury.
してそんなに冷静でいられる？彼女がまだ中にいるのに。
How are you so calm? She's still in there. Yeah, and you're so fucking strong. You could have stopped her from letting her go in. You could have
生
stopped
死がか
her.
かる瞬間は面白いが、
She wouldn't be
結
in
果
there
が
with
見え
your
た
help.
局面に興味はなくてな。
The balance of life and death is interesting, but once the result is known, it's best. It gets quite boring.
この中に飛び込めば確実に死ぬ。それがわからんなら試してみるがいい。
If he thinks he won't die in there, so be it. Let him test it out for himself. Orlok clenched his fist. He wanted to dive into the fire too, but he knew well enough that he couldn't. I looked up at the burning casino. Her words crossed my mind. I need to meet him anyways. The flames continued to continued its wrath on the casino. It's like over going. Burr, 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 burr. Unable to fight back, I closed my eyes. I took a nappy. Nippy nap. God, will he leave us if we fall asleep? Girl, he might leave us if we fall asleep. I opened my eyes. We're still there. I recalled what happened, seeing him beside me and feeling his warmth. I'm sorry, I must have fallen asleep.
いや、もう少し休むといい。
Don't worry, rest a bit longer. Seeing the situation we were in, I couldn't possibly sleep now. I slowly looked up at his face. Did he not sleep? It looked like he was gazing into the air. He didn't seem to have slept for a moment. Aren't you tired, Henri?
ああ、
No.
眠れなくても、
So
ま
pretty,
だ少
such
し
a
休ん
ways.
でくれ。
Okay. I like it. I honestly like it. I don't know if I like him as a person because honestly, we didn't have much of his route kind of sucks, right? Let's be so real. Half his route is the true ending. Like you don't divert into his actual route until like chapter 8, which is really long to get to. But I enjoy the premise. If they had made him more like Adolf, not Adolf. Well, it's whatever. Like oh my gosh, Anku, like Anku. I forgot his name for a second there. If they made him more exciting, like Anku, like if he was showing up and had like a very nice aura around him and he seemed very mysterious in a way, I think it would have been better. Instead, he would show up and then he would have his little moments of I'm a friggin' asshole, and then all of a sudden she's like swoon. I'm like, girl, no, girl, that's abuse. It would be somewhere else. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the little things here and there, but I also feel like what the hell? What the hell? If you can't sleep, just rest for a while
先は
longer.
長い。十分な休息を取らなければ。
We have a
君
far
の
way
足
to
が持たな
go.
くなる。
You won't last without sufficient rest. If you're not going to sleep, then I want to talk with you.
またそれか。話があるなら聞くが、
Again, I suppose I can listen, but
私から君に話せるようなことは何もないよ。
I have nothing to say to you now. There's a lot I want to ask you. I want you to know. I want to. I want you know you better. I want you know you better. I want you know you better. Don't want to look at this again and it changes. Oh god, I want you know you better. I want to you know you better. He's such a downer. He's like, yeah, you can talk. I'm not going to. He is the classic middle school goth boy that's like says whatever it sounds edgy. Remember when we talked about you before? How you were born in France and came to this town. What happened after that? I heard you were later adopted by someone in the Falzone family.
それは
That's... Henri looked reluctant to speak. I could feel his arm around me get tense. Should I not ask you about that?
いや、いいだろう。少し話そう。
No, it's fine. Let's talk a little. Also, how much older than me are you? Just curious. Like 20 years?
君はまだ私がどれだけ汚れているのか分かっていないようだから。
This is a good opportunity for you to know how unclean I am. Huh?
ファルツォーネは血統を重んじる一族だ。桃園といえど、それは変わらない。
The Falzoni are very strict about their bloodline, even amongst their own relatives.
そんな家が、どこの馬の骨とも知れない人間を喜んで迎え入れると思うか。
Do you think they would be happy to welcome in a complete stranger?
しかも、当主の妻と子を殺しかけた女の弟だ。
My sister was about to kill the Falzoni's boss's wife and child.
彼らは
I became... Henri's voice began to tremble. I held tightly onto his clothes.
私は彼らのはけ口になった。
I became their whipping boy.
養子とは名ばかりで、狭い部屋に閉じ込められ、食事も満足に与えられなかった。
They adopted me but threw me into a small room and barely gave me enough to eat.
たとえ私が死のうと構わなかったのだろう。むしろ、彼らにとってはその方が都合が良かった。
I doubt they cared whether I was dead or alive. In fact, my death would have been more convenient for them. He closed his eyes as if remembering.
一家には、クロエと同じくらいの娘がいて、彼女だけは私にも優しくしてくれた。
They had a daughter around the same age as Chloe. She was the only one who treated me kindly. I took a deep breath. Someone cared about you, Henri.
私が顔を殴られそうになると止めてくれたよ。せめて他の場所にしてくれ。
She stopped her parents from beating me. She asked them to at least do it elsewhere. Huh?
彼女は私を優しく懐柔して少しすると
She
遊び相
kindly
手を
took
共
me
有
in.
するようになった。
Soon she forced me to play with her.
私は一度だって望んだことは
I
なか
never once wanted to play. She also was like a teenager. What? Wait, Henri. I trembled as I spoke his name. Henri ignored me and
いろ
continued.
んなことをさせられたけれど上手にできるとパンをくれた。
She made me do all sorts of things, but she gave me bread if I did her bidding.
それがなければ私はとうに死んでいたよ。私はただ生きるために
I would have died if it weren't for her. I just wanted to live. Oh my god, this guy.
人としての尊厳を
In exchange, I threw away my pride.
私は神をこの世界のすべてを呪った。
I cursed God and the world itself.
私からすべてを奪ったファルツォーネを
I
憎まず
hated
にはいられ
the
なかった。
Falzone for taking everything away from me.
憎まなければ正気を保てなかった。いや、今思えばとっくに狂っていたのだろうけれど。
I couldn't maintain my sanity without hatred. No, I suppose I had gone mad long before then. Henri snickered coldly. Henri, my guy.
神を
I answered to Henri then, if someone precious to me were being threatened with danger, and if no one would blah 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 blah, I might curse God.
私は神は
Oh my gosh, we get it. It wasn't just Chloe who couldn't be saved. Henri was left to face life alone. He lived a life of suffering with no one to help him and no one to save him. Just thinking about that made me sick.
それから私と遊んでいる最中の不幸な事故でその娘が死んで
One day, the girl died an unfortunate death while playing with
その
me.
日私は生きるためにその家の人間を全員殺したでなければ
I then killed the remaining
私
of
が
the
殺されて
family.
いたから
If I didn't, they would have killed me. I listened to Henri recount the events matter of factly. I couldn't say a word.
私は一人フランスに戻った生きるために使えるものはすべて使ったよ
I returned to France alone. I did all I could to survive there.
何も持っていなかったから最初は自分をそのうちに他人を利用する術を身につけた
I had no one and nothing and survived on my own. Soon I learned to use
イ
others.
タリアから来た留学生であるセバスティアーノ・ガリエと出会って親しくなり彼を殺し
I
成り
met
代わった
Sebastiano Galliere, an exchange student from Italy who I befriended, then killed to assume his identity.
仮名を手に入れるためだ彼の家族もすべて殺した
The decision tree in the story seems like a tour of moral
私は
shortcomings.
罪を犯した
Like, to be so for real, like, what the hell? It's one of those things where I go like, oh, you're the mafia, so you don't care about people? I'm like, yeah, they're the mafia, so they don't care about people. But, like, why would you arrange for him to be adopted to another? Like, just throw him in an orphanage if you don't care. Like, if you care so little, why would you bother sending him to another family just so he could be treated badly there? Like, or you could follow the Harley route, which is kill the entire bloodline, right? You need to kill him. He might seek revenge. I needed his family name, so I killed everyone in his family. I drenched my hands in their blood.
君は私を許すと言ってくれたけれど私は手を差し伸べてもらう資格などない
You said you would forgive me, but I had no right to be saved.
それほどまでに私は醜い
Now you see how unclean I truly am, Henri.
私は人間の醜悪さを知っている
I know the ugliness
自
of
分を
humans.
含めさまざまな悲喜劇を目にしてきた
I know the ugliness of humans. That includes myself living a life of tragedy and satire.
君はそう思わないかもしれないが生きているものは汚いよ
You may not think so, but all living things are dirty in some way.
だから私は人間が嫌いだ触れた
He's
くもない
always whispering, an inch from her ear, I might add. Which is why I don't want to touch you. Listen. But now, Henri was holding me in his arms. If Henri's forcing himself to hold me,
復讐だけを考えながらなぜ私はまだ生きているのかと疑問に思ったこともある
I thought countless times of how to mutate my vengeance and why I'm still
生
alive.
きていても楽しいことは何もなかった苦しさは増すだけだ
Nothing came from my being alive aside from hatred and suffering. Henri. She's just over here going like, Henri, my guy. I didn't know what to say. Henri's words hit something inside me. Oh, she crying. Tears began rolling down my cheeks. I'm sorry, Henri.
どうしてああ私に触れられるのが嫌か
Why? You don't want me touching you. That's not it. I thought before that you probably lived alone all your life. I thought you hated the mafia because of all the suffering you went through. But I couldn't have been more wrong. I wasn't even close to understanding how much you suffered. Even his warmth, which comforted me, only brought him pain. Oh, look at me. She's like, look at my pain. My being here with him must be making him suffer. I'm so sorry, Henri. Henri looked at me troubled. He kept opening his mouth as if he wanted to say something to me, but closed it again. He's like a little fish now. Henri finally spoke in a sad voice. Go to sleep, Liliana. I don't want to go to sleep. Oh my god. The world is on fire outside, okay? We're in a tunnel of darkness. You just told me the saddest story you could have ever told me about your life. He firmly held me closer to him as if he was trying to calm me. Forget what I said. My story's over now. How can I forget? I was having a hard time breathing. Sorrow gripped my heart as I felt his warmth. I couldn't hold back my tears as I leaned against him. I wondered how long it'd been. Henri, I'm fine now. He slowly released his hold on me. I'm sorry, you must have been cold too. I gave the coat back to him. Henri quietly took it from my hand. Liliana. Henri awkwardly lent his hand to me. Character development. I looked at the black glove on his hand for a moment. Is Henri alright? If Henri's alright, then. I hesitantly reached out to him. He twitched the moment I touched his hand. I quickly tried to withdraw my hand, but Henri took it and held it. Henri started walking and I followed. I could feel his warmth through his glove. We continued hand in hand as we searched for the exit. After a long walk and frequent rest along the way, we finally made it out. I couldn't tell what time it was underground, but it looked like the sun was about to set.
夕日の方角から見て、向こうがブルローネだ。君は町に
Based on the sun, Berlone should be in that direction. You
君を待
should
つ人々のもとに帰るといい。
return to town. Everyone is waiting. What about you, Henri?
どのみち私は処分されるだろう。ブルローネマフィアか、さもなくば政府に。
Either way, I'll be disposed of, either by the mafia or the government.
私に残された償いの方法はそれだけだ。
A just punishment for all I've done. Okay, but the mafia also kills people all the time. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you've met Yang. He literally is a human trafficker that we fell in love with. I think you're good. Oh my god. A just punishment for all I've done. Oh my god. He smiled slightly.
私には生きる場所も生きる理由もない。
I have no place to live, no reason to live. Listen, you can stop reciting stuff I've written down.
いや、最初からどちらもなかったことに今になって気づいただけか。
No, I had neither from the very beginning. I just realized it now. I looked at his sad smile.
神様のお導き。復讐は今も。
I don't care. Just make a new place to live. It's not, if not in this country, somewhere else. I'll go with you. My words came out without thought. Maybe I was already intent on it the moment I jumped into the fire. That was the moment I realized I didn't want to lose him. Henri was staring at me with a bewildered look on his face. He looked at me like a lost child. I don't want to let go of his hand.
どうしてそんなことを言う？君はこの町が好きだと言っていた。
Why are you saying that? You told me you loved this town. Yeah, well, you know, like, have you ever heard that thing, like the hungry alligator eats the bigger number? Like, you can like something and you can love something more than that.
この町とここに住む人々を全てを捨てるのか？
You're willing to leave everyone and everything behind for me? Listen, if Magneto can find a wife, so can you.
どうして？
Why? I don't know. But I want to show you, Henri. I want to show you there is so much more joy and happiness in this world. It can't be only pain and suffering. My eyes welled with tears as I recalled what he had been through. I'm sure you can find a reason to live. Dying won't absolve you of your sin, so you need to live, Henri. If you sincerely feel sorry for all those you've sacrificed, then live, no matter what. That will be your punishment.
私が殺した人々はそんな未来を許すか？彼らは私の死を望んでいる
Would
は
those I
ずだ。
killed really want that? They must be waiting for me in their graves. I don't know the feelings of those people, but I do know this. Your death won't save anyone. Anne, I don't want you to die. Henri looked at as though he was about to cry. Asking him to live must be a very cruel thing to him, but I won't let go of his hand. I'll hold Henri's hand tight. I just want to be by his side. That was my wish. I'm trying to turn off my heating pad. My goodness, it feels warm. I think it was on the highest setting. Oh, goodness. There is so... A few months passed since the casino fire, naturally. Naturally. Not that, after. We continued to hold our meetings at the church. Burlone had not yet settled down. We had a pile of work ahead of us.
ディレットーレの配下の残党、ようやく始末がついた。
We finally got rid of the remaining men under the Directory.
教国は通貨同盟の解散を呼びかけた。名ばかりの存在でも、また利用されることがないように。
The church has ordered the disbandment of the currency union so that its name can never be used again. As usual, everyone reported the results of their work. We looked at each other and nodded.
リリーから手紙が届いた。
I got a letter from Lily.
生きてるのか。そりゃよかった。
She's alive. That's great news. The letter says don't bother her. We couldn't find her body in the casino, so we've been searching for her whereabouts. Time passed, but no news developed. Suddenly, we've received a letter from her.
僕たちに詫びていたよ。よくしてくれたのに、何も返せなくてごめんなさいって。
She was apologizing to us all for not being able to repay what we've done for her.
そんなこと。
But we didn't.
ということは、あの男も生きているか？まさか見過ごしはしないだろうな。
Which means he's alive, is he? I hope you didn't assume he was dead.
そりゃな。だが、今まで俺たちがいくら探っても、足取りがつかめなかったんだ。
We couldn't get any leads on him either.
あいつはこれまでもうまく渡ってきたんだろう。見つけ出すのには骨が折れるだろうな。
He's been living a life of secrecy all this time. I doubt we'll find him anytime soon.
そうだな。
Indeed.
ブルローネマフィアの面目丸つぶれだな。
Well, so much for the Burlone Mafia. Gilbert laughed and shrugged at Yang's remark.
まあ、気長に探すさ。
We'll just keep looking. Henri and I were together now. We ran off to a remote village in France. We bought a rundown church and were using it for children orphaned by war. We were living a life in peace of quiet. I didn't say farewell to Burlone, so I sent a letter just once to the Burlone Mafia. It was my only way to apologize to them after all they've done for me. I also wrote my appreciation too. Days passed when suddenly he appeared in front of us.
Yeah.
Hello there. Emilio! Henri's face hardened seeing Emilio suddenly appear in the village. Do these two know each other? Emilio was unusual. Emilio was as usual, speaking to us without a care in the world.
彼らは君が思うほど怒っていないよ。
Oh, they're not as angry as you think. They. Wait, you mean? Emilio must have known about what I was gonna say. He smiled at me in reply. Really?
ああ、彼らは君を恨んではいないし、むしろ心配しているくらいだよ。
Yes, they're not resentful of you. In fact, they're more worried than anything. Emilio glanced at
もっ
Henri.
とも、彼らにはマフィアの矜持がある。そこの彼のことは見過ごせない立場だ。
Of course, they are the mafia. They can't just let him go free.
彼を生かすには、こうして行方をくらませて、他国へ逃げるしかなかっただろうね。
If you want him to live, you will need to go into hiding again in another country. Henri didn't say a word. Emilio
君
continued.
たちがいつか何かに困ることがあれば、峡谷を頼るといい。
If you're out of options, contact the church for help.
星の定めるところとはいえ、君にも彼にも迷惑をかけたのは事実だから。
Even if it was fated by the stars, it's true that we caused trouble to the both of you. The young man lowered his beautiful head
僕
apologetically.
はこれからも君たちの行く末を見守るよ。そして必要があればいつでも手を差し伸べよう。
I'll continue to watch over you both. If needed, I will lend a helping hand.
僕たち、いや、僕からのせめてもの償いだ。
It's the least I can do for you. Emilio. I was about to ask him something when. Lily, the wind is blowing the laundry away. Oh no. The laundry was fluttering on the lines as I ran to the children trying to hold the laundry down. I could see her fighting the laundry fluttering in the high wind.
教国の使者よ、一つ尋ねていいかな。
Messenger of the church, can I ask you something?
なんなりと、迷える子羊に道を指し示すのが僕たちの仕事だからね。
As you wish, our mission is to be shepherds to lost sheep in need.
君がどこまで知っているのかは知らないが、
I don't know how much you know about me, but
私は罪を犯した。自らの苦痛を拭うために多くの人を陥れ、
I've
多く
committed
の
grave
命
sins.
を奪ってきた。
I have taken many lives to ease my suffering.
私は決して許されるべきではない。
I saw that. I don't deserve salvation. My lights do this when it gets late because it's all like, you should be laying down.
いずれ時を経て、私は誰かの怨嗟によって殺されるかもしれない。
I'll probably die at the hands of those who cursed
そ
me.
れも仕方のないことだと。どんな報復を身に受けても当然だと思っている。
I believe I deserve as such, and I am willing to accept any
それ
punishment.
で、
And he didn't look any different since I last saw him. He looked calmly at me.
だが、彼女はどうなる？私のそばにいることで、
What about her?
彼女が罰せられはしないだろうか。
Won't she also be punished if she stays next to
君
me?
の問いかけに答えよう、アンリ。
Let me answer your question, Henri. He gazed at me with a serious
人は
expression.
罪を犯せば必ず罰を受ける。君にもいずれ報いが来るだろう。
Those who do wrong will be punished. That applies to you too.
それが罪というものの仕組みだ。罪と罰は分かてないもの。
That is what it means to sin. Sin and punishment work together. I listened intently to his
けれ
words.
ど、彼女が誰と生きることを選ぼうと、その行為そのものが罪となりうることはないだろう。
How she chooses to live and who she wants to live with isn't a sin.
神は本来人間の罪悪を許すもの、罰するものではないのだから。
God is the one who forgives our tainted souls, not punishes them.
神の教えは私にはもう理解できない。信じることもできそうにない。
I don't understand God's teachings, and I doubt I can believe in him
だ
either.
が、彼女が罰せられないなら、
But
そ
I'm
れで
fine, so as long as she isn't punished.
アンリ、君がもし彼女のことを思うなら、ただ悔い改めて生きるといい。
Henri, if you want the best for her, you must live a life of repentance.
もう分かっているだろう。君の死を望まなかったのは神じゃない。
You
彼
know,
女
but
だ。
you know for yourself that your life was spared not by God but by her. I lowered my eyes as Emilio
君
continued.
は今も変わらず夢を見るのかい？
You're still having the same dream, aren't you? How did he know that? I stopped myself from asking. It doesn't make sense to ask that at this point. And I'm not sure I want to answer. I'm not sure I want to know the answer. It's getting just darker. It was clear to me that he lived outside the natural law of this world. He looked no different now from the moment I first met him when I was a child.
夢は見る。時々。
I still have the same dream all the
い
time.
つか夢を見なくなる日が来るといいね。
I hope it'll fade away someday.
君の言葉はありがたいが、この夢が消える日は訪れないだろ
Your words are appreciated, but I doubt it will ever
う。
fade away.
私は永遠にあの悪夢から逃れられない。生きている限り、
I can't escape from the nightmare. I will always be shackled to it for as long as I live.
自らが犠牲にしてきたものの怨嗟を 呪いの声を聞き続けるだろう。
I will continue to hear the curses and the anguish of those I have sacrificed
苦しく
forever.
はないのかい？死にたくはならない？
Isn't it painful? Don't you wish to die? What is this doing? Alexa, please turn on caramel. Isn't it painful? Don't you wish to die? It was quite a thing to say considering the church condemned suicide. Emilio was smiling as if he knew what the answer to my question would be. I answered with
今
honesty.
は以前ほど苦しくないよ。
I'm not suffering as much now.
それはきっと目覚めた時そばに彼女がいてくれるから。
That's because she's here each morning when I wake up. It had been living in a nightmare ever since I lost my sister. I couldn't tell whether the nightmares I had at night were real or not.
目に映るものすべてが汚らわしく見えた。自分も他人も血も肉もすべて。
Everything I saw was tainted and unclean. Everyone, my blood, my flesh, everything. But now I know the dream I have is a dream. My reality has now become a life with Liliana beside me. I looked at the palm of my
最
hand.
初は彼女にも触れられたくなかった。
I didn't want her to touch me at
そのう
first.
ち私が触れてはいけない気がして、
At times I felt like I shouldn't touch
彼
her.
女を遠ざけなければならないと思うようになった。
I thought that I needed to keep her as far away from me as possible.
そして
But now, as I fell into a sea of thought alone, Emilio was looking at me with a warm
僕も
smile.
祈るよ。君たちの歩んでゆく未来にどうか幸せのあらんことを。
I'll pray for you and your partner's future to be filled with happiness. Woo! Thanks to the children, I was able to gather the laundry together before it flew away. I lifted up the heavy basket with all of my might. I followed after the kids who were running happily back inside.
私が持とう。
I'll hold that. Henri was standing beside me and extended his hand out to help. Oh, I'm fine. Is this the second one where we've decided to run an orphanage on our own and have a laundry basket scene? Come on, guys. Be so for real. His hair tickled me as it blew in the breeze. It didn't take long for me to notice that he had kissed me gently on the cheek. I couldn't seem to get my thoughts together. My cheek? He kissed me. Henri took the basket from my hand, seeing that I had frozen in my tracks. What? Even then, I couldn't get myself to think straight. Wait, Henri! As I called out his name, he turned around and smiled. I hurriedly chased after him to ask him what happened. What was that? Why did you... Henri touched me when we were making our escape from the underground passage. But since then, even after escaping here, he hadn't touched me at all. Hey, Henri! Henri didn't answer as I headed inside. As I gave chase, I could feel my cheek getting unusually hot. I wasn't sure why, but all I knew was that my heart was racing when he kissed me. So fair. I still don't know what this feeling is, but I only ask that Henri continues to smile. I pray from the bottom of my heart that his pain and suffering will one day disappear. Oh my goodness. Lafinio. Still summon this. I hate it. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, this should be pretty straightforward. Henry. Okay. Great, great, great. No, 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 no. Wrong button. Wait, does he not have a short story? Wait, maybe it's not as straightforward as I thought it was. Oh no, wait. 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 The story seems so big. Is this covering more ground than normal? Yes and no. It's just that it's the true ending. And then they like to spread this shit out to make my life more complicated. Oh my god. But I'm still missing a picture. I think I'm still gonna be missing a picture after this, which means I have to Google why I'm missing a picture. Oh no. Spelled Henry instead of Henri, like a silly goose. Please, please be the shortest after story.
遅くなってしまった。
I'm late. Oh no, he's pregnant. I brought a gift for Liliana and the children.
喜んでくれるといいが。
I'll hope they'll like it. I gave a chuckle thinking how much I had changed.
ん？家に明かりがついていない。
The lights are out. Oh gosh, they're all dead. The place was dark. I didn't hear any
ど
voices.
こかに出かけているのか。
Did they go out? I ran my hand along the wall to find the switch. A small body lay on the ground. Three of them were laying in a pool of blood. The wounds and gashes of their flesh reminded me of what torture was. She was nowhere to be found. I tried to force I was joking. I was trying to force myself to call her name. What is happening? I forcefully dragged this is the happy ending. My fear-struck body to search for her. I found what was once her. This is a dream, right? This is a dream? I slowly touched her body. And he woke up. And he woke up because it's a dream. It's a dream.
1926年3月。
It's a dream, right? This is a dream. We're having a dream. It's a bad dream, but it's a dream. Oh no. Spring was almost upon us. It was a warm and wonderful day. Good morning, Henri. I was getting ready for breakfast. Henri slowly walked into the living room. You're up early.
おはよう。子供たちはまだ寝ている？
Good morning. Are the children still sleeping? Yes, I don't think they'll be up anytime soon.
そうか。
I see. Something didn't feel right. Henri didn't look good at all. Are you feeling alright?
どうして？
Why do you ask? You look a little pale. He gave a weak
仕
smile.
事の締め切りが近くて、
I'm just tired from work.
霧のいいところでやめようと思っていたら、明け方になってしまった。
I was gonna try to get more sleep, but before I knew it, the sun was already rising. I see. Henri was working as a translator. He was able to speak and understand Italian, French, and even Latin. I'd go around his desk sometimes and find books in English and other languages as well. Maybe you should go back to sleep.
そんなに心配しなくていい。
Don't worry about it. I'll
無
be
理
fine.
はしていないよ。
I'm sorry, Henri. If only I could help. I'm having him bear the burden of making money so that we can survive. She says as they decided to take care of people. Ooh, no, not the button I meant to press. Don't do that. To think that I was the one who wanted him to live.
いいかい、リリアーナ。
A reminder to you, Liliana. He closed his eyes and spoke in a gentle
君
tone.
は必要な存在だ。この家に。
You are needed in this home.
私と子供たちの面倒をよく見てくれている。
You've kept watch over me and the children.
いつも。私は感謝している。
And I appreciate it very much.
私一人で子供たちを育てることはできない。
There's no way I could raise them
こ
myself.
んな人間らしい生き方もできない。
I also can't live like this without you. Henri.
急がなくていい。君はよくやっているよ。フランス語も随分上達した。
There's no need to rush. Your French is much better than before. But that's only because you taught me, Henri. I smiled as I asked him for a favor. Do you mind teaching me again once your work is done? Hearing him speak in French is so lovely. I knew it sounded odd, but I couldn't describe my feelings for him. Henri gazed at me with a gentle smile, and a somewhat perplexed look in his eyes.
また部屋においで。教える。
Stop by my room whenever you want. Why was I so happy to hear him say that? I don't know. Crazy. I couldn't stop myself from smiling. So would you like something to
い
eat?
や、カフェオレだけ頼めるかな。
No. Could I just have a cup of cafe a lot? Whatever. Of course. You just sit down. He hasn't eaten anything, so hot milk would be better for his stomach, but I didn't want to risk jogging his memory. He hasn't liked hot milk ever since he was a child under the Falzone's family custody. As I prepared the cafe a lot, Henri called out to me gently.
今日は街に行くよ。打ち合わせがある。
I have to go into town for business. Okay. Worrying about his childhood made my expression cloud. But his smile melted away my worries.
おはよう、アンディ、リリー。
Morning, Henri, Lily. Good morning, everyone. I greeted the children running into the living room with a bright smile. Our lively breakfast was finished. Henri spoke to me from behind as I was about to clear the dishes.
私がやろう。君は子供たちの相手を。
You let me do that. You see to the kids. It was only recently that I noticed how helpful and watchful Henri was. He helped with the chores a lot and made life so much easier for me. Thank you, Henri.
私は子供の相手が得意ではないから。
I'm not good with children anyway.
子供たちも君が構ってくれる方が嬉しいだろう。
I'm sure they would have more fun with you around.
Hmm?
You may not know, but the children always ask me the same question whenever you're out. They keep asking me when you're going to be back. Everyone loves you, you know?
だといいが。
I can only hope. He hesitantly smiled as he took the dishes to the kitchen.
ダメだよ。これは
Hey,
僕
that's
の。
mine. No fighting, everyone. We're supposed to share the toys. I quickly reprimanded the children who were trying to keep the toys to themselves. Henri came walking into the living room with his attaché case. Attaché? Are you leaving?
ああ、
Yes. Be careful, Henri.
君こそ大丈夫か。
Are you alright?
今日は家を出ないようにしてほしい。
Today I want you to stay at home. Huh?
君も子供たちも。
Also, keep the children inside. Henri is always worried about leaving me and the kids at home, but something doesn't feel right
な
today.
んでダメなの？お外で遊びたいよ。
How come? I want to play outside. I'm sure he has a good reason. I have a surprise for everyone. I'm thinking of making a special kind of treat for you
とって
today.
おきの？
Really? It's called a Paris Brest. A ring-shaped pastry filled with cream. This pastry was made in the year 1891 in commemoration of the bicycle race Paris-Brest, Paris. I'll need a lot of help though. I wonder who can help me.
いいよ。手伝
I want to help. Thank you.
すまない、リリアーナ。
Thank you, Liliana. I nodded in acknowledgement and he smiled. Everyone is waiting for you to return, Henri. Understood. The children and I saw him off as the reluctance on his face disappeared. Yeah, but like, how many kids do we have? And why? Otis Ladudu. I finished the work meeting and then stepped outside with my payment and a new book on
work to work on. 何か買い物をして帰れば彼女の助けになるだろうが。
Maybe I can buy something for her, something that would make her happy.
いや、今日は早く帰ろう。
No, I better return early today. What I experienced with Chloe is in that town appeared in my dreams vividly. I often couldn't tell what was a dream and what
け
wasn't.
れど、過去にまつわるもの以外で、
I've had many dreams of the past
こんな
before.
にも実感を伴う悪夢を見たのは、
This is the first time the nightmare had felt so real. I knew it was just a dream, but I couldn't shake off the fear.
真面目に働いているようだね。
It looks like you're working hard. He stood in front of me looking no different from before.
仕事を紹介した僕としても嬉しいよ。
I'm glad I led you to taking this job. This was the third time Emilio had appeared in front of me. He walked alongside me as he continued.
ああ、僕への感謝は不要だよ。これはお互いの得になることだから。
No need to thank me. Your working is a benefit for me too.
君はいろんな手段でお金を稼げる人間だ。放っておくと何をするかわからない。
You're talented enough to make money in whatever means and ways
良く
possible.
ないことをされるくらいなら、平和な仕事を斡旋させてもらいたい。
So I'd rather you do peaceful work that won't get you into trouble.
もっとも、教国絡みの書物を訳すなんて、君には苦痛かもしれないけれど。
Then again, having you translate materials from the church must be pure
文
suffering.
字を読むだけで苦痛は感じない。
Text don't bring suffering,
だから別に構わない。
so I don't particularly care.
そう言ってもらえて安心したよ。
I'm glad you said
け
that.
れど、心配でもある。無理に仕事を詰め込みすぎていないかな。
I'm still worried that you're forcing yourself to do this work. His words came out so nonchalantly that I doubted he cared one
今
bit.
の半分の量でも、彼女と子供たちを養っていくには十分だろ。
Aren't you able to support her and the kids with just half the work you're doing now?
君はお金を稼ぐことに興味がない人間だと思っていたけれど。
I always thought you didn't really care about making money.
ああ、もしかして備えているつもりなのかな。
Preparing, eh?
君が報いを受ける日のために。
For when you're punished, perhaps?
何をしに来た、エミリオ。
Why are you here, Emilio?
彼女ではなく、私に用があるんだろ。
I assume you're here for me and not her.
察しがいいね。君のそういうところ、とても好ましく思うよ。
Precisely, I've always liked how sharp you are. Despite his mysterious presence, no one in town was taking notice of him. It was as if no one could see him.
こういうことは彼女に聞くより君に聞いた方が早いと思って。
I assumed it would be faster if I asked you instead of
君
her.
たちずいぶん仲良く暮らしているようだけれど。
It seems as if you're both living quite well together, but
実際のところどうなのかなと思って。
I just wanted to see if that was so.
どうも何も
Is that a question?
どうせ知っているんだろ
And if it were, you already knew the answer.
う。改めて聞く必要があるのか。
I don't see the point in asking.
私と彼女は君が期待しているような関係ではないよ。
All I can say is that our relationship isn't what you're expecting.
だろうね。
I assumed as much.
だからこそ僕は君と話をしに来た。
Which is why I came to see you.
リリアーナはまだ鍵の乙女のままだ。その資格を失っていない。
Liliana still maintains her status as the key maiden.
君はそれでいいのかな？
Are you alright with that?
君は賢い人間だ。
You're a smart person.
僕がこれまで見守ってきた人間たちの中でも飛び抜けて聡い。
Among those I've watched over so far, you are by far the smartest of them all.
だから気づいていたんだろう。
Which is why you know what I'm saying, don't you?
確証があったわけではないよ。
I didn't have solid evidence, but
今の言葉で推測が確信に変わった。
His words changed my doubt to conviction. I closed
も
my
しか
eyes.
したらと恐れていたことがある。そうでなければいいと思っていた
Despite
こ
my
と
doubts of her status, I kept wishing that it wasn't so. All you have to do is sleep with
フ
her,
ァ
it's
ルツォー
over.
ネの鍵の乙女の伝承については何年もかけて調べてきた。
I've researched extensively about the Feltsone's family relationship with the Key Maiden.
幼い頃姉から聞かされた断片的な話など当時の私には理解できなかったけ
Back
れ
then,
ど
what my sister told me was beyond my understanding,
後
but
年になってみれば
now it all makes
つい
sense.
それで君はリリアーナのことをどう思っているんだい？
So what are your feelings in relation to Liliana?
君にとってはただの救いでしかない？
Is she simply your savior?
そういう対象ではないのかな？
Is she more than that to you?
下世話だな。
How surprising.
聖職者の発言とは思えない。
I didn't expect to hear that from
ア
you.
ンリ、ごまかさないでほしいな。
Henri, look at me.
好奇心で聞いているわけではないよ。むしろ、主な理由は親切心かな。
I'm not asking you out of curiosity. If anything, it's because I
と
care.
はいえ、僕は見守る立場だ。基本的に介入を許されていない。
But my position doesn't allow me to directly interfere with the happenings of this world.
頭の固い連中に知られると厄介だから、この話は君たちだけの秘密にしてほしい。
My only request to you and her is to keep what I share with you both of you as secret.
君たち
Both.
リリアーナには話して構わないと
So you're fine if I share what I know with Liliana?
知り得た知識をどう使うかは
The choice is up
君
to
次
you,
第だ。
as always.
最初は彼女にも触れられたくなかった。そのうちそして触れてしまうことがある。
I come into contact with her so often. I kept asking myself why, but I didn't know the answer
私
yet.
に触れる資格がないという事実は変わるものではないだろうに。
The fact that I don't have the right to touch her hasn't
彼女
changed.
と話しているとたまに考えることができなくなって
Yet when I talk with her, my mind begins to muddle.
いけないと知りながら手を伸ばしてしまうことがある。
Before I even realized it, I reached my hand out to her despite knowing I shouldn't. Maybe it appeared in front of me because he knew that. He.
私は
I
彼女を宿命の犠牲にはしたくない。
don't want her to follow her
け
fate.
れど同時に彼女はいずれ返さなければならないと思っている。
But I know I need to return her to her fate as
彼ら
well.
なら彼女を守ってくれるだ
At
ろう。
least I know he will protect her. He walked away without a word. I rushed back home without seeing him off as he walked into the crowd. I finally saw the house up ahead. I ran fast to rid my mind of the nightmare. Welcome home, Henri.
ただいま。
Henri, I'm home. I noticed his expression relaxed a bit seeing that we were all in here. Dinner's almost ready. I just need to make the finishing touches.
パリブレスト楽しみだね。
I cannot wait for the Paris Brest. Everyone pitched in to make it, so I'm sure it's gonna be
ま
good.
だ食べていないのかい？
You haven't eaten yet? We wanted to wait to eat with you.
そうか。
I see. Henri crouched down to the children's eyes level.
待たせてしまったね。すまない。
Sorry to keep you all
いい
waiting.
よ、お仕事だったんでしょ？
No problem. You were working, right?
アンリも食べてね。美味しそうにできたんだから。
We did a lot to make it, so I hope you like it, Henry.
Ah.
Henri. I'm sure I will.
それにね、今日はご飯を作るのも手伝ったんだよ。
And we helped make dinner
それ
too.
はすごいな。楽しみだ。
That's amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Hee hee. I smiled seeing Henri and the children speaking so easily together. Dang, this never ends. We made a rich vegetable pot of foo and a creamy potato aguarant. For dulce, we had a large Paris Brest filled with ricotta, cheese and cream. We divided it among the 5 of us here. Okay, so there's 3 kids. We prepared dinner and read some books today. The children helped me read the words I couldn't read
誰
myself.
か訪ねてきた人は
Did anyone come by? No, no one.
そうか。
I see.
ねえアンディ、おいしい？
Henri, does it taste good?
ああ、とてもよくできている。
Yes, it's very
お
good.
いしいよ。
Very, very good.
やったー！
Yay! Having dinner together was heartwarming, and after being with Henri for so long, I came to learn he didn't eat very much. Maybe I'm forcing him to eat by having a meal like this, but I was happy to see Henri tell the children that the food was good. Dinner was over and the kids were sound asleep. Well, Henri, have a good night.
ああ、おやすみ。
Yes, good night.
リリアナ、少しいいかい？
Liliana, do you have a moment? What is it, Henri? Is something the matter? I tilted my head as he called my name.
手紙を出さなくてもいいのか？
Aren't you going to send your letter? Huh?
ブルローネに。
To Berlone. My eyes widened. Why all of a sudden? I put my thoughts together. There's no need for me to send anything. They all know I'm doing fine. I also don't want to worry them. Elena, Sister Sophia in particular, and I don't want them to know where I am now.
そうか。
I see. Something wasn't right. Henri, is there something going on? This was the first time he mentioned anything related to the town where we used to live.
少し気になっただけだよ。
It just crossed my mind, that's all. Henri smiled gently. It didn't relieve the odd feeling
引
inside
き
of
止め
me.
てすまなかった。
I'm sorry to have kept you.
おやすみ。
Good night. Good night. I watched as he left the living room. I hesitantly walked to my bedroom. As I lay on my bed, I couldn't manage to fall asleep. Henri, why did he ask that question? As I turned in bed, I noticed a faint light peeking through the curtains. I looked through the window at the starry sky. I gave a sigh and got out of bed. I draped a robe over myself and headed back to the living room. Moonlight shone through the windows into the darkness of the room. I saw a figure faintly illuminated somewhere. Somehow I wasn't surprised. Henri, could you not fall asleep? Henri was leaning against the table and looked at me, a little surprised.
ああ、
Yes. His response was a bit delayed. He must have been deep in thought.
ゆうべはいつもより早めに寝たから、ふと目が覚めてしまった。
I slept earlier than usual last night, so I just woke up. I walked towards the table. I sat in the seat furthest from where he was.
どうした？
What's the matter? Did you really just wake up? You looked pretty pale this morning. It can't be work that's waking you. Could it be that you can't sleep? He slowly looked away without a word. I guess Henri doesn't want to talk about it. Please, Henri. I want to know more about you. What's going on in your mind now? I couldn't stop myself from asking. I wasn't sure why, but I couldn't hold myself back when it came to Henri. My feelings kept getting the better of me.
君はどうして私のことを気にかけるのか？
Why do you always think about me? He closed his eyes and mumbled
し
quietly.
ばらく見ずに住んでいたのだけれど、
I hadn't seen it in a while.
昨日夢を見た。
That dream came back to me again. I braced myself for what was to come. I knew before that he was having nightmares.
仕事を終えて町から帰ってきたら、
I returned from work in town and
君と子供たちが死んでいた。
I find you and the children dead.
だから今日は眠るのが怖い。
Which is why I'm afraid to
目
sleep.
を閉じて横になりたくない。
I don't want to close my eyes anymore. My hands beneath the table tightened. Henri.
君は
How?
君はこんな頭のおかしな男をいつまで気にかける？
How much longer will you continue thinking about someone as mad as I am? Huh? He caught me off guard. He chuckled to himself scornfully.
私のことなど見捨ててくれていい。
You can leave me if you'd like.
以前の生活に戻ることを望んでも、私は君を恨まないよ。
I'd have nothing against you even if you decided to return to your usual life.
それが当然だと知っているから。
In fact, I don't see why you don't do that. Jeez. What are you saying? My voice trembled as pain surged through my heart. I want to be with you, Henri. The pain aching, Henri's face was filled with sorrow. Why does I keep doing that? Am I pressing the button twice? The pain ached inside me even more terribly as the thought that I made him sad. Maybe you think I only follow you because of the situation back then. If that's true, then there's nothing I can do about it. What can I say? I know it sounds weird, but I can't explain what made me follow you.
リリアーナ、
Liliana,
それは
listen. All I know is that it wasn't on a whim. I've never felt that feeling before. My heart was in pain. My emotions took control as I began to tear up. Maybe there isn't anything I can do for you, Henri, but I still want to be by your side. I know I'm being selfish here, but I can't hold myself back. He sighed a bit, then smiled at me.
そうだな。本当に君はわがままだ。
Yes, you really are
そんな
selfish.
君に私はいつも振り回されている。
You keep playing with my heart. Oh my goodness. He wasn't reprimanding me. His voice was calm and soothing. My heart leapt as I looked into his eyes. Henri, he slowly stood and walked towards me.
君に触れてもいいだろうか。
May I touch you? I smiled involuntarily as Henri looked at me perplexed. You don't need to ask permission. There's nothing I dislike about your touch, Henri.
そんなことを言ってはいけない。
You shouldn't say that. It's too early. Henri reprimanded me in a light tone. He then reached out a bit reluctantly. I moved my hand towards his slowly in case he changed his mind. Our fingers gently grazed each other's. Henri slowly and ever so carefully intertwined his fingers in mine. My heart pounded, feeling his soft skin and gentle touch. Look at your sad boy now. I looked into his eyes, which seemed so forlorn. Henri's so tall. I knew that before, but noticing it again was making my heart race.
私の手は汚れている。
My hands are dirty. Dude, what the hell is this? What is this? What is this life I'm living? I almost feel like it should be the same hand, but it's like the opposite hand, which means she's like this, which is weird to me. My hands are dirty.
触れては君まで汚してしまいかねない。
My touching you will only serve to stain you.
わかっているのに。
Yet I still want to.
触れて確かめたくなる。
So I can make sure that I'm alive.
そうだ。
Yes. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I felt as though Henri was staring at me more intensely than before. My heart was racing so fast that I could almost hear it.
私を許してはいけない。
You shouldn't forgive me.
私がもし自分を抑えられなくなったら、君が拒絶してくれなければ。
Who knows what I would do if I was unable to hold myself back or if you reject me.
納得していない顔だね。
You're not convinced. I'm not. You don't think you should be forgiven, right, Henri? But remember, I did say before that I forgive you. I was sure he knew what I was talking about. His eyes shook a bit hearing my words. Even if the world didn't forgive him, I'd forgive him. Yep. So don't worry about me. You can touch me whenever you want. I don't think you know Henri, but I actually like it when you touch me. Liliana. Henri looked surprised. He then sighed, shaking his
あま
head.
り大人をからかうものではないよ。
You shouldn't tease adults like this. This is a good point. He is like 20 plus years older than her. Am I a child to you, Henri?
そうだな。男に触れられて何も感じないでいるうちは子供だ。
Ah, that's a weird sentence. I kind of don't like that. You're still a child if you don't feel anything when a man touches you. But that wasn't true. Couldn't he tell how flustered I was now? Before I could say anything, Henri
私
continued.
から見れば君はまだ大人とは言えない。
You're not an adult to me yet.
年も随分離れているから当然だろ
Naturally, since we're far apart in
う。
age.
私がファルツォーネの屋敷にいた頃、君は生まれてもいなかった。
You weren't even born yet back when I was living in the Falzoni Manor. He was trying to reason with me. I know what he's saying, but I felt vexed hearing him use our age as a reason to keep our
け
distance.
れど、
But
私はあまり君を幼いと思ったことはない。
I've never seen you as too young before. I feel like maybe this argument should just be
子
not
供
part of
扱
this.
いしてきたつもりもないよ。
I haven't treated you as a child not once. Really?
ああ、
Yes.
君の存在は
To me, you're
もっと特別
you're
なものだ。
someone special. I'm concerned. My heart leapt at his kind and gentle smile. Words weren't coming out of my open mouth. Henri spoke to me with
リ
honesty.
リアナ、君との暮らしは私に子供の頃以来の平穏をくれた。
I'm so utterly confused with her hand holding, by the way. Liliana, living with you has given me a peace I haven't had since my childhood.
たとえいずれは私の手からすべてこぼれ落ちるのだとしても、
Even if everything I have now slips through my fingers,
私は今この時を忘れない。
I won't forget the time we spent together. Henri, he was still scared of it all ending. He was living in fear of his nightmares, encroaching upon reality. He continued looking at me with kind
君
eyes.
の手は温かいな。
Your hands are so warm. Yes, I want to be by his side. I was feeling, it was a feeling I felt so strongly, strong enough to bring pain to my heart. Okay. Okay, so there's one more picture that we need. Oh. Oh, wait. No, that's it. We did it. That's the picture. Did we do it? Did we get them all? That was it? I thought I messed up something. He's not even in it. Why would that be the last photo? Thank you for playing Pio40. Oh my god. What are these? What are these boys even? Oh, I was getting so concerned that I was never going to end. These are cute. I like these. These would be cute on cards. They're not cards in here, are they? No. They might have been originally. I didn't have cards in mind when I got it. I bought it pre-owned. Yang. Okay, one, Henri doesn't get enough photos. He gets 4 CGs. Like, that doesn't even get 2 versions. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I feel. I have thoughts, and I just don't know. I don't know. Listen, we did it. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. We did it. We completed the game. Okay, so next up is either Mitstonia's Hope, which is where we get to date phase, cute phase, not to mention they're cute, please. My goodness. Cute phase, cute phase. Yes, cute phase. Pursue your quest for revenge or romance, you know, one or the other. Or Illusions of Aitihari, which is Reach for the Sky, baby. And this is the same artist that did the art for Pio40, so we will be seeing similar art if we do this one. These guys, look at him. He basically looks like the guy that we just dated. Quite interesting. We also have Date Everything that I'm not gonna add to my thing. I'm just gonna play that. It's gonna be something I play like on an evening stream kind of thing. We'll get there. But we did it, and it's late, and it's 2 a.m. and I have to go to work today, but it's okay. I work in like 11 hours. It's fine. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. We have beat Fio 40. We're getting ready to start our next game now. Thank you, Blue and Bass, for both hanging out with me tonight, because I don't usually stream this late. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember you can check me out on Twitch if you want to see the more recent stuff we are doing. We are gearing up for our next game. I just have to start making my sweet, sweet thumbnails, and we're also going to be part of a festival that's starting on December 8th, I believe is the day it starts. And I have a full day of games I'm planning on playing specifically on that day, so please look forward to that. I hope you guys have a lovely evening or day, depending on what time it is where you are. I will see you guys later. Bye!